All right. Just giving you guys some time. Oh Lord, I flat my damn glasses off. Giving you guys some time to get up in her. Before we do so, you guys already know what we're here to get into. Please thumbs up the video until it's absolutely stuck. Thumbing up the video not only helps with YouTube's algorithm, but more importantly, it triggers up YouTube's notification system. So when you are thumbing up the video, you are literally knocking on the digital door of another conscious crew member and telling them to get the black asses into the sanctuary. All right. Running up the video, running up the like, it's free 99. It don't cost you nothing. So whether you're a Bush baby, part of the replay gang, or you're active with me in real time, I need you guys to smash, dash, and abuse that goddamn like button. That can't be working back to back, baby. So, you know, it's up to us to get the algorithming and to get the notifications to notifying. Also, shout out to all the new subbies. We are at 53.4 and counting. Girl, we're growing because teamwork is making the damn dream work. Also, if you love what the King do and you want to show some love and keep the lights on around here, you can always donate to the platform, Cash App, $ConsciousTV, and or PayPal.me/ConsciousTV. Conscious spelled with the Z on the end, just like how it is here on the platform. Once again, all handles and donation information, emails, Patreon, Instagram, etc. is all in the comment section. Last but not least, please share the stream out to wherever it is we have digital community, whether that be your YouTube community wall, your Snapchat, your MySpace, the dark side of Twitter, Tumblr, or your personal OF. I don't really give a damn where in fact you lay the link. Just let them whores know that we're live, and we're certainly in color. With no further ado, let's go ahead and push on through.
I know a place where you can recharge your soul.
Baby, that's ConsciousTV.
And in the midst of brokenness, he gon' see your asshole.
Baby, that's ConsciousTV.
You gon' heal, you gon' laugh and catch a little shade.
Ooh, girl.
Y'all know he be slaying, y'all better stop playing. Come hear what he's saying.
Ladies and gentlemen.
What's going on, Conscious Crew? It is a lot going on, and we're here to get all up into it. Yes, for those of you who are asking, are we still going to be covering the Diddy trial? Yes, we are. I took 2 days off because it's just a lot of negative stimuli going on, as you can see here. We just got finished talking about Tory Lanez and getting stabbed, and, you know, there's the Diddy trial. There's the DDG Haley saga. It's just so much shit happening, girl. As a super empath, I be needing to take my break away from this stuff, go put my feet to grass, go live my regular life, and not allow all of this ratchet ass stimuli to start fucking up my own energy, which I do use alongside the law of attraction to create all the beauty in my life, girl. So, you know, the King be having to take his mental and spiritual rest from shit. So we will be catching up on all things Diddy trial over the weekend. I have the transcripts. We will be doing a live reading. We know that Dawn Richards from Danny DeCane has entered the group chat. Cassie has also given her last piece of testimony and her last piece of cross-examination. So we'll be getting into all of those things Saturday and Sunday, part 1 and part 2, and then we'll be picking up on things on Monday and continuing on in our usual rigmarole. Now, we are here to get into the Little Mermaid, aka Ariel, aka Chicken of the Sea versus DVD, also known as VCR. All right, you guys know that we broke the news earlier this week that Haley had sought a restraining order against the father of her child, as well as Twitch, YouTuber, live streamer, rapper, all the above, DDG, who is the mother and father of the beautiful Halo, who has come into the world apparently to illuminate and expose all of his parents' toxic shit, baby. What a fucking Halo, right? Well, in her 50-page restraining order and petition to the courts, she alleged that there had been physical violence perpetuated against her, so severe that in one of these DV experiences, allegedly and according to Ariel, Her face was smashed into the steering wheel of DDG's car, resulting in a chipped tooth. She also submitted pictures of other injuries that she claimed to have sustained from DDG, such as bruising on the side of her arm. She also had filed a police report on one incident where he had taken her phone and tossed it out of the window, etc. And she is seeking primary custody. The courts granted her temporary sole custody of Halo. And within that petition, she also said that she wanted to take her son to Italy for 2 months because she has a filming obligation overseas. Okay. Now, since her filing, of course, social media investigators, girl, you know, they get to investigating, girl. They were pulling alleged receipts regarding inconsistencies in some of the alleged evidence that she proposed in her restraining order, such as the chip tooth incident that she said was a result of a DV incident. Well, social media users went and found a Instagram live where she was on her way to the dentist regarding this very small chip on her tooth. Social media users were pointing out that she also had no other injuries for someone whose face had been smashed into a steering wheel, that there also would have been bruising around the mouth, a busted lip, possibly a busted nose. There would have been other abrasions to her face, as her entire face, according to her, was smashed into a steering wheel so hard that it resulted in the chipping of the tooth. And of course, people also speculated about that level of force only resulting in a very small miniature chipping of one tooth, and there were no other facial injuries for someone who had claimed that their entire face had seen the entire body of a steering wheel. Okay. Then I believe the text messages that she showed, screenshots she showed of DDG sending her headlines of her being with her boyfriend and Chloe in St. Lucie with their son, and him being reasonably agitated over that. Fans were saying there were inconsistencies in the timestamps and the alleged timing. She claimed, you know, these things. It was all type of shit, girl. All type of, just get into the last live stream where we covered this, girl. They got into all the things, girl. Okay, they were just going through and through it by and by. Okay, now because this is a investigation, she has been given temporary sole custody. DDG, aka DCR, will have an opportunity to defend himself, to present his side, whatever evidence he has to support his innocence, etc. Next month, I believe they have a court date, and they will be swinging and banging it out in court over this restraining order that also has obstructed custody. Now, you guys know we also had provided some context for restraining orders because Halle herself basically said she was seeking a restraining order because she was wanting to take her son to Italy. Now, you guys know we've been reporting on their relationship drama ever since he came forward and made claims that she was withholding Halo, that she was being very selfish, etc. We showed her admitting that she has a unhealthy codependency upon her son, that she has no mobility, she can't function without him, she cries and goes through, you know, the woes when she's experiencing separation anxiety. She can barely even do her job professionally without her son. And, you know, she had needed to kind of test herself in terms of being able to operate independently, especially when he's with his father, because she did have a child with a man. She did not immaculately conceive. So Halo does not just belong to her, and she's not the only person who is new to parenting and is excited about parenting. Equally, DDG is also excited and a new parent as well, and wants to have equal time with his son. All right. Now, what's interesting about talking about that is that kind of goes hand in hand with this idea that Halle may be suffering from some type of a enmeshment We know she also has stated that she is suffering or was suffering from postpartum, apparently. And according to some, it seemed that she may be either using a genuine condition as a justification to hog Halo, or she is making up postpartum in order to justify hogging Halo. Now, when DDG first came forward about Haley and this whole issue of custody regarding Halo, he had made the statement that he has not spent more than 72 hours with Halo before she's over at the house and she's making herself comfortable, and you know, she's taking up space on his time. His issue with that, according to him, is that it doesn't work both ways. When it comes to her time with Halo, he doesn't get to see Halo on her time, but he always accommodates her even when it's his time to have custody of Halo. So her wanting to go to Italy and her having this filming obligation coming up, and the timing of her restraining order, which talks about incidents that took place last year and earlier this year, for some may explain the motive for why she filed the restraining order. Now, we kind of did a semi-deep dive into restraining orders, etc., and come to find out restraining orders are legal strategy if a parent wants to obstruct custody, because typically what happens is, what has happened is that the parent, the primary parent, is given sole custody until further notice. So by her going to the courts and petitioning for a restraining order, regardless of if the claims are true or not, would put her in a position to basically not have to share Halo at a time where she absolutely wants full custody of her son, because she cannot imagine herself being in Italy for 2 months and, you know, having to put Halo back on a plane, having to have him fly back to the Americas to be with his dad. And because she's already admitted to being crippled and not being able to be functional without her son, etc., this would create a bit of a motive, okay, for why Haley would be seeking a restraining order at this time. And it has been successful. So I have to give it up to Haley and her attorneys, girl, because if this was to play, baby, they played, girl. They motherfucking played, baby. This is what you call playing chess, not checkers, girl. Okay, so I ain't even mad at it, baby, okay? Now, because the restraining order has been granted, there are people who are taking the restraining order at face value. However, a restraining order being granted in and of itself does not per se make the claims of substance, nor does it make them true per se. All right. This is why the courts give the defendant the opportunity to defend themselves against said allegations. Now, because weaponizing restraining orders and filing frivolous restraining orders is an actual thing. It's a thing you may not hear a lot of about. It's a thing that people may not talk a lot about. But just like frivolous police reports get made, frivolous lawsuits get filed, so do frivolous protective orders get petitioned for. There is penalty for filing a frivolous restraining order against someone. It can result in a mutual restraining order. It can result in a dismantling and a reversal of that initial restraining order. I have been on the receiving end of a frivolous civil protective order that is now dissolved, of course, because it just was meritless. All right. However, I bear witness to someone who I've never met a day in my motherfucking life. I never had any type of a relationship to, be able to take their parasocial relationship to me on the internet, go to a court without a lick of evidence and tell a judge a bunch of foolishness, and then have that judge initially grant a protective order for 5 years. So I know how raggedy, ratchet, and ridiculous the criminal justice system is and how insane it is. All right. Now it's going to be up to DVD to contest these allegations. It's going to be up to him to argue his innocence and to provide his side of the story to this. And then we'll be back to a judge having to sort through both parties' allegations and whatever alleged receipts they both have in support of their claims, and then what that will turn into. Now, the situation with custody being temporarily suspended is not going to hold up in the long run. It is temporary. the judge will be revisiting custody once DVD enters the group chat, and then they will be able to embark upon a legal custody agreement, have lawyers sign off on it, and a restraining order can still be upheld in all of that. But her personal restraining order, because of her allegations against him, are not going to leave DVD without custody, because in order for him to be completely absolved of custody regarding his son, she would have to prove that he is a direct endangerment to Halo, not just herself, since there is no CPS involvement, since there is no claims that he's ever put his hands on Halo, he's ever beaten Halo, he's ever injured Halo, he's ever starved Halo, etc. There's going to be no substance and no merit to any attempt on her part to keep him from his son. However, depending on how the judge weighs the allegations from her against him, may result either in a continuation of a restraining order. That restraining order may last from any point of 6 months to 5 years to 10 years, etc. Typically, restraining orders are very temporary. Under very rare circumstances, are restraining orders permanent. Sometimes, and most likely, and I just had a good friend go through this as well, what happens with restraining orders is that sometimes when a judge gets both parties finally in court and sees that they're both disgruntled and that they both have egregious claims against each other, a judge will sign off on a mutual protective order, keeping both parties from interacting with each other, having direct or intimate involvement in each other, etc. So we're either going to see this protective order sustained, supported by said evidence on Haley's part, or we're going to see it reversed, depending on how DVD argues his side, or we're going to see a mutual restraining order established between them two, and then they're going to sit down and straighten out this custody situation so that they can find a way to both co-parent Halo. Now, since this restraining order, right, DVD has seemingly responded to being practically unbothered, but he has also went on to his live streams to practically admit that, you know, he's sad, practically he's hurt, and that he knew something was going to happen because things were going a little bit too good, and he was kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop, and then kaboom, this happened. Also, because Haley made certain claims about DVD's family, DVD's mother entered the group chat and basically called Haley to the carpet and said that she will certainly be letting the truth be known. Now, whether she's going to do that via social media or whether she's going to take up that opportunity to do so during this legal battle regarding this restraining order in custody, we don't know. But the mom has said that she is definitely going to defend her name, and she's going to defend the claims that Haley made about DVD's family. Now, because Haley made some general claims against his family, this has prompted the family to defend their name. So DVD's brother, is it Dub, also has spoken out. He's going to say some very interesting things during a live stream he did about what's going on between Haley and DVD. I'll save some of my talking points for when we go to show and hear him out. Also, another live streamer by the name of D-Shay or D-Shaw Frost also has came to DVD's defense, claiming that Haley is in the Illuminati, etc., that she's also perpetuated abuse herself against DVD. People are also saying that this is a attack from Rock Nation because DVD has not bent the knee. Apparently, he also did a collaboration with Tory Lanez, etc. But there's all type of shit that's taking place, child. And let me see here. Where are my notes? We're going to also visit some of Haley's own admissions about herself. We kind of went over a little bit of this in the last live stream. I personally am not interested in what fans and their parasocial sentiments are toward these public figures that they become emotionally invested in. I'm always going to choose what a person says about themselves over what anybody outside of a person is going to say about them. So there are statements that Halle has made about her own toxicity, about her own behavior via interviews. Okay, you can take that for what you will, because it can be argued that it supports some of the things that are being said by other members of the camp that Halle and DDG share together, be your friends and family members. So, first thing first, update. Halle has been granted sole custody of Halo until their June court date. Halle has been granted temporary sole physical and legal custody for her son Halo, whom she shares with ex-DDG, until a June 4th court hearing. All right. Now, other people who have jumped into the mix is personality, I guess, social media comedian Tia Kemp, Rick Ross' baby mother. And she's had some interesting sentiments toward this. She's also being dragged and caught the fuck out. But there are people who also stand with her. So before I actually play this, I want to say this. It's interesting when it comes to this DDG Halle situation, because people are split down the middle. There are women who have looked at what's taking place and feel like Halle definitely is being a setup queen, and she is weaponizing certain things, and that she's not being sincere in her allegations. Not all women are in unison. Not all women are standing with Halle at this time. There's also men who are in support of Halle, and there's also men who are in support of DDG. And there's just a lot of kind of mixed reaction. And then there's kind of like people who are just kind of in the middle, because people like me know how these things go from front to back. We know that DDG is heavy between men and women, that men historically have perpetuated physical abuse against women. Data shows that men commit more physical abuse in relationships than women do, but that women commit more mental and emotional violence against men than men do against women. So data shows that women and men are both toxic in their own ways, and that they perpetuate toxicity differently. They perpetuate abuse differently historical. Women will lean on emotional and psychological abuse of a man, and men will use their fists and feet as it relates to abuse. So for the people who are in the middle, they're just wanting to see both sides, see all the evidence, and then see what the courts ultimately rule before they come to any one person's defense, because it could be a matter of a disgruntled baby mama who is just weaponizing the fact that she's a woman and she has privilege in this instance, because courts typically side with women in these instances of DV, etc. girl. And people also know that men historically do abuse women. So either these things are true or not true, but right now we only have one side of these allegations. So there's a middle crew, and then of course the extreme polarities exist to the left and to the right. Pro Halle, pro DDG, and then the middle folk. I consider myself right now to be a part of the middle folk, as a commentator and somebody who has just been reporting on a bunch of foolishness for the past few years. We've seen the Jane Does. We've seen people frivolously weaponize rape claims against people. Jay-Z just got a legal win. Diddy and Jay-Z just got a legal win against a Jane Doe regarding extreme heinous allegations against them. We're now living in this age where we know that people will say anything to get their way. People will say anything, to get their agenda met. I am not somebody at this point who believes in believing any one person per se when it comes to allegations. I believe in hearing people out, and I believe in a sorted and integral investigation to get to the bottom of allegations, no matter what the allegations are. So I think you can hear claims about people and respectfully wait things out and weigh things out. But ultimately, no matter where you land, attempt to be as diligent as you can and putting things together to the best of your ability. So I'm interested to see what DVD has to say about these claims that he has stalked her, that he's broken into her home. Once again, Halle just brought forth pictures. There's no video evidence. She just brought forth an image of a chipped tooth and said it was the result of this. She brought forth an image of bruising on her arm and said that it was because of this. You know, so there's all of that. Tia Kemp entered the group chat, girl. And this is what Tia Kemp, Rick Ross' baby mother, y'all favorite auntie girl, had to say.
I'm sick of y'all, man. I'm just fucking sick of y'all dogs. What the fuck is happening under the motherfucking sea? Good morning, me, bro. Don't good fucking morning, me. Y'all keep sending me all this shit. DDG. 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 I don't know what the fuck going on. But everybody, all my nieces and nephews keep sending me this shit going on. And I don't know. I don't. But I do know this. We ain't no fucking saints. I've kicked my baby daddy in the fucking stomach and took off running. But when that motherfucker caught me, he hit me back in my stomach and I was out of breath for 5 minutes. Now, all I'm going to say is this. I don't know who the fuck hit who, but all I can tell you is this. Leave that police ass shit out of the equation, all right? You got a motherfucking baby. If you want some police shit to do, you go to family court. I'm sick of y'all, man.
Okay, so that was just a small snippet of what Tia Kemp said. So she basically said, leave that police shit out. I want to address that first and foremost and say that in any genuine instance of abuse, you should absolutely employ any resource you have to protect yourself from any genuine occurrence of abuse. I do not believe in keeping police out of a goddamn thing if you are the victim of genuine abuse and genuine violation. Tia Kemp also said something on behalf of this situation as a woman. She too also knows that women can be full of shit, women can be liars, women can be vicious, women can initiate abuse and then use the response to that abuse from a man who will strike back, etc., and weaponize that against the courts. Okay, so there's that. Someone by the name of Ramonte. I don't know who this is. I don't know whether Ramonte is an artist, a social media platform, a social media personality, but whoever this person is that has a blue check mark name, Ramonte, said to Tia's talking points, one thing about an older black woman is that they will defend an abuser. Leave that police shit out of the equation is how a lot of girls end up dead. Shaking my motherfucking head. Very true, which is why I just said what I said. If there is genuine victimhood, if you a man or a woman experience any type of genuine victimhood and victimization, you have every right and you should employ all of your resources, including 911, to protect yourself, both male and female victims of abuse. All right, there's that. Now, social media has compiled a compilation, basically, in light of now Halle trying to allude that somehow, for whatever vague reason, her personal situation with DVD should spill over to custody of his son, because up until her needing to go to Italy and obligated to Italy and not wanting to have to be away from her son, and needing something to obstruct custody to justify her not having to share her son for 2 months while she's overseas. Up until then, she's been speaking very highly of DVD as a father, that he's the best dad, that she knows Halo is perfectly safe, etc. I'm sure all these things are going to be used as exhibits as well. in DVD's fight for custody and maybe even his attempt to fight these claims against her regarding this restraining order. So check out this compilation courtesy of social media.
The best daddy to but I miss him so much. You all know that Halo has the most amazing daddy in the world. Momo is just the perfect dad to him. He loves him so much. He's so present. And I couldn't have asked for a better person to have a baby with because of how present he is and how much he wants to be in his life. And how supportive he is of me and my ventures. I cried today to Daryl and he's like, it's okay, like, don't worry.
Like, he's good with you. You guys been doing all that. Not that men can't, but you know.
No, he's such an amazing dad. It's literally the sweetest thing in the world. Because we've always, oh yeah, I mean, he's a great dad. But I always knew that he would be like this, you know. We had talked about it before. And yeah, that's just the type of person he is. So Halo is really, really lucky. Everybody knows Moo's the best daddy to him, but
okay, so there are multiple instances, both when they were together and not together, of her continuing to uphold that DVD is a great, absolute great father. You know, once again, she just has a particular unhealthy attachment to her son. It has nothing to do with DVD being incompetent, etc. Even though she did try to allude to that in the restraining order, claiming that, you know, well, when he's with Halo, he doesn't even, you know, have him half the time. You know, he's left to DVD's mother, which is Halo's grandmother, which I found to be completely weird, considering that, I mean, even parents, when they have shared custody, are still working parents. So of course, DVD, as an entrepreneur, as a live streamer, as a musician, as someone who has obligations, is not even on his own time with Halo going to be able to sit up under Halo for an entire week and not have to, you know, tend to his other responsibilities, which is also completely contradicted when she's in the same restraining order saying she's going to have full service nannies for Halo in Italy. She's going to need nannies. She's going to have nannies. So I thought it was interesting that she was trying to, in some way, allude that it's a bad thing that DVD, you know, has his family helping him to, you know, tend to Halo's needs when it's his time to care for Halo, while she literally does the same thing and has full service nannies. Like, so there's that. All right. Now, here's where shit gets thick. And this is why some people have decided to lean back with it, in terms of jumping to any conclusions, despite the claims from Halle against DVD, because Halle has said in multiple interviews that she's toxic, she's jealous, she's admitted that she starts shit unwantedly with her male lovers, that she's territorial, etc. So check out this compilation of interviews by Halle speaking about herself, okay? Not some third party claim, not what a source is saying, but what Halle is directly admitting about herself out of her own mouth.
Relationship, I think I have anxious attachment style. Everybody knows I'm an Aries, I'm a fire sign.
Okay, so she says I'm an Aries, I'm a fire sign, and she says she believes she has anxious attachment style, which is just another way to say she has unhealthy codependencies. We can already see that in her son, with her and her son, which we are calling enmeshment, which is another kind of anxious codependent condition that a parent can have toward their kid. But she's also acknowledging she has this even in relationships. So for all the people in my last live who was like, you know, we shouldn't be diagnosing people, we're diagnosing her based upon her own preconceived diagnoses of herself. Because for everything she's describing, there is clinical terminology to assign to what she's describing. And here it is. She's acknowledging that she has unhealthy codependencies upon her male partners. And once again, DVD has made the claims that she has unhealthy codependencies upon Halo, which is resulting in him being able to have quality time with his son. Continue to listen on.
I get very passionate. I seem nice online and innocent and everything, but you guys do not know. I will go to battle with my yelling, with my words, everything. I'm good at that, right? And if I...
Baby, let me tell you, this is some self-incriminating shit, girl. Now, remind you, some people were trying to chew me up in my last live because I was saying that a lot of y'all don't realize it, but on an unconscious level, a big part of y'all caping for Halle has to do with the fact that y'all have brought into her marketing. She's been marketing as a Black Disney princess. She's been marketing as the girl. She's been marketed as the girl next door. And I told y'all in the last live stream about this, y'all don't know her. Y'all just believe in the public image, which ironically, DVD also acknowledged when he had initially confronted this whole thing with her withholding Halo. When he said, look, I have largely not exposed Halle because of her public image. You know, I don't want to do that to her. I know she got the good girl image thing going on. So, you know, I just been keeping a lot of shit to myself, etc. But shit been real gully behind the scenes. And here it is. Halle is out of her own mouth saying, bitch, y'all don't know me. Y'all don't know, bitch. I'm vicious. I'm malicious with it, bitch. I'm with all the motherfucking shit, bitch. Y'all don't know me. And she literally said it, girl. Okay, y'all think I'm, you know, this little miss. Just what she's saying, baby. You can't take it up with CTV. You can't take it up with CTV, baby. You got to take all that up with Miss Halle, who's saying her public image is completely contrary to her actual self and her private self, the private self that DVD would know all about, not the rest of us. The DVD that DVD's family would know all about, not the public. Okay, the people that actually are in intimate relationship to her, personal relationship to her, will know all about, not any of us who exist on the outside, dealing with the persona, dealing with the public good girl image that is marketed. Continue to listen.
Yell or check anyone, that's what I gotta do. That's just the way I be. Clap back or sit back. I always have to choose clap back. I'm sorry. I'm a very kind person. And if somebody pokes at me or the people that I love, it's over for you. I'm an Aries. Sorry.
Baby. Halle says if she needs to, she will go straight to hell with it, baby. Okay, and she's justifying everything and chopping all her dark-sidedness up to being the Aries girl instead of her getting some therapy, girl. Okay, for that temperament and to that maliciousness, girl. She's just living alongside all of those problematic character traits by saying, "Hey, bitch, I'm an Aries girl. Charge it to the zodiac, girl. Don't charge it to me."
Never have I ever started drama with my boyfriend for no reason.
Okay, so they're doing a Q&A right now, and one of the, I guess, questions is, you know, have y'all ever started unwarranted arguments and problems with y'all boyfriends?
Put it down.
Chloe points directly to Chloe ass and was like, girl, she does, okay? She's the one who be with all the shits, girl, fucking with these niggas, girl, for no reason, girl, gaslighting them, triggering them, you know, trying to get a reaction out of them, etc., girl. And this is what she has to say, even to her sister confirming that.
You know, I'm territorial. I'm a jealous girlfriend. I'm a territorial girlfriend. Where you go, who are you with? That's me.
No, baby. I'm not gonna let y'all know. That's not what she's saying. Some of y'all are still trying to downplay it, but I know that some of y'all are very delusional, so it's okay. Okay. What she is saying is she's a problem. I start shit unwanted with my niggas. I'm a jealous girlfriend. I'm a territorial bitch. I will go to hell if you fuck with me, etc. And she's looked all y'all dead in y'all face and told y'all that despite the good girl image she has, y'all don't motherfucking know her, baby. Okay? She's both Ariel and she's Ursula equally, girl. Pick your poison. Pick your motherfucking poison, bitch. Okay?
I'm nosy, number one. Number two, I like drama.
Whoop!
I just don't like drama in my
Whoop!
life. I love watching it in other people. So
A 40 and flip there, huh?
Relationship,
I'm gonna let that run one more time and then we're gonna move on, baby, because a lot of this shit gonna go hand in hand with some other stuff, girl, that's gonna come up.
Interest attachment style. Everybody knows I'm an Aries, I'm a fire sign. I get very passionate. I seem nice online and innocent and everything, but you guys do not know. I will go to battle with my yelling, with my words, everything. I'm good at that, right? And if I gotta yell or check anyone, that's what I gotta do. That's just the way I be. Clap back or sit back. I always have to choose clap back. I'm sorry. I'm a very kind person. But if somebody pokes at me or the people that I love, it's over for you. I'm an Aries. Sorry. Never have I ever started drama with my boyfriend for no reason. Put it down. You know. I'm territorial. I'm a jealous girlfriend. I'm territorial.
I don't want to hear nothing about this. She's a typical young woman shit. Because if DVD was online saying I'm jealous, I'm petty, I start unjust fights with the women in my life, that I'm problematic as hell, baby, he will be getting ran down on like he's getting ran down on right now. So because the pendulum ain't gonna swing both ways, we ain't gonna be doing no double standards tonight, baby. Y'all gonna keep that same energy as if it was a man saying all this same shit. The narrative wouldn't be, oh no, this is just a protective young man. Oh no, this is just a typical young man of his generation. Girl, y'all would be chewing him up. So miss me with the foolishness.
Where you go, who are you with? That's me. I am nosy, number one. Number two, I like drama. I just don't like drama in my life, but I love watching it in other people. So, love my baby. Relationship, I think.
All right, girl, this is a mess, y'all. All right, so check out what DVD had to say, because you guys may or may not know that Soulja Boy, for some reason, I don't know whether Soulja Boy is another very I think there's honestly something wrong with a lot of these people. Like, my nigga, why are you talking about whipping DVD's ass as a result of Haley's claims when you couldn't even stop putting your hands and putting your dick in people who did not want it? In all these other situations, like with Nia, your ex-girlfriend, this woman who just sued you and won for sexual battery, and Grape, who you owe millions of dollars to. Do you think you're in any position as a man who has been actually found guilty of heinous crimes against women to be talking about putting your hands on DVD as a result of a unfounded allegation against him by a woman? Girl, if you don't sit your goofy ass down some goddamn well. So DVD is responding to Soulja Boy claiming that he gonna tap that ass. And also he's clapping back at Ray J. Apparently, DVD owes Ray J money for a melody that DVD used in one of his records. I guess that was sampled from a Ray J record. So this is what DVD got to say to Ray J and to Soulja Boy.
Industry is just so fake. You feel me? But one, bro, that I want to meet, bro, on some real cool and just kick it with the is Soulluminati. But that really been like, I be seeing the little clips and I be like, man, this is a real. And I know he a real because he's from Michigan. You know what I'm saying? From the same area, kind of. You feel me? And like, a lot of content creators been just, you know, really siding with me. And I know this is like, you know, this, you know, it's kind of it's a very, very touchy.
I often joke that I'm retired.
He got to pay them bills, and we got to too. So y'all thumbs up, share. If we got time, I will be dropping the link to let you guys come up here and chime in super quick.
Touchy subject, but like, you know, to put your opinion out there in favor of me, and you know, we had like past situations, or we had like little, because I done said some whole to them. He said some whole to me, but I said some whole to him too. You feel me? And y'all know the whole little situation, and you know, me and him, the little beefs that we had back in the day. And I want to come up.
I think she has more in her corner as well. A says that Haley knows how to code switch and giggle for these Hollywood whites, but she's with the shits. DVD and her are on the same level. She just has more in her corner, like Parkwood and Oprah. And she also has like the good girl image behind her as a machine, which definitely, you know, helps her out in instances like this where she may be being insincere, and can rely on her public image to shield her from accountability from shit she may in fact be doing maliciously against said target. In this case, it's DVD. And once again, you know, either those things are true or not true, but a court now has been involved, and DVD will be given the opportunity to defend himself accordingly, and then a judge will have to rule on those claims as well. So we'll see.
And genuinely apologize for that time. You feel me? I was young. You know, I was just on the internet high. And the that I was saying to him.
Amber, I definitely got your email, boo. So thank you for the boots tarot reading. Thank you, boo.
Wasn't right. You feel me? That I continue to do me beefing with. It's still Bruce though. Shazam! Yeah. Bruce. You DOK. But other than that, it's like with Soul Illuminati, man, that shit made me happy, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay, so he goes on to call Soulja Boy basically poor and to tell Ray J to ultimately kiss his ass. All right, calls the industry fake. Now we're going to get to some interesting shit here. DDG Frost is another streamer, very close to DVD, and he kind of came out swinging, you know, in the aftermath of this whole restraining order situation, and he had some interesting perspective on this. So check out what he had to say.
On some real I didn't come on here like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm finna get off in a little bit, anything. Listen, though, I don't care what people say, whatever. My brother, DD, has always stood up for me and all that I've been through, knowing
I am so hoarse, y'all, because I was screaming on live, being entertaining a few days ago, and I done scratched my goddamn voice up. So I feel like I kind of got a little bit of a sore throat a little bit.
Be and how to be, and
shout out to my baby mother Amber for the over dancing piece of child support chat. Thank you so much, baby mother.
I've been through and knowing it's like be lies and like that. But thing, bro, with me, bro, I'ma always ride my brother, bro. I've known Diddy for so long, since I was fucking 16, 15 years old, bro. And this nigga is literally one of the most humblest, nicest people I've ever met. And I've seen him literally through all times, to the points where we have even talked to each other about what we're going through and all different type of shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I don't ever want my brother or anything to feel like that the whole world is against him because of somebody that's either making, you know, lying, all this other shit and saying all these things that aren't true just to try to bash my brother because of he trying to be a great father. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like that shit, bro. Like, and I don't care if it's hate me. I don't care if just hate me, all that, but I don't give a fuck, bro. And you guys know I'm the last person to give a fuck now. So, and I told bro, like the same you told me, bro. I said, keep your head up. You can't make people who been waiting to not fuck with you, to make them fuck with you. They just looking for a reason not to fuck with you, and now she had done gave them a reason. You know what I'm saying? And I'm never gonna speak down on any type of girl or call her or anything, whatever, because at the end of the day, that's still my dog's baby mama. You know what I'm saying? He always got to do her like that. But what I'm saying is, bro, I know Didi, bro, and I I've been through certain things and seen certain things that like that is not kind of right, bro. Like even for like the Kai situation, like the Kai, bringing her.
I figured that somebody would say the friends don't matter. Well, here's the thing: if the friends don't matter, neither do any of us, and yet we're all here giving our opinion. So I would say that in calling it fair is definitely okay for people who know both Halle and know DVD to come to their respected, sides. I would just hope that parties of either side would at least, be honest. I don't believe in per se like caping just because. But if there's anything you feel you can add to the situation, then that's okay. And the courts also allow this as well. They call it character witnessing. Character witnessing is important. Also, the courts bring in people, who know of said parties and can speak to their character, which is to be considered when people are being accused of certain things, because once again, that's all a part of a thorough investigation to decide who's lying, who's not, who's the actual victim in the situation, who's not. You have to bring all these elements into the equation. So, yeah.
Son onto Kai's stream. I've literally had a talk with Didi when he's on the way, bro. And this like thing about
this is the pink salt recipe that took
they paid them bills, shot. We got to pay them bills too. Y'all run them likes up, share. I will be dropping the link.
Like the thing about Halle, bro, is that she can ruin this whole mood, bro, with a text, with a tweet. And I don't like seeing my dog down, sad about any of that, bro, at all. And it's like as soon as he's trying to like get in flourishing and doing great, doing good, the devil, not saying she's the devil, but I'm saying the devil comes in and tries to do some crazy, you know what I mean? And I don't like that, bro. And that's why I told him, bro, like you gotta chill, like you can't let this stop what the f going on, bro. You can't, bro. You're on a great run, bro. The whole Kai, even with the Kai situation with the baby, I was talking to Didi and he was saying, bro, that she was telling him that she finna like do some crazy if she brings him on the stream. And I'm like, bro, like why is she tripping about this? You told her that you was gonna bring him on the stream anyways, and she's just like, oh, this is what he's telling me. Like, she's like, nah, like she act like she didn't know when they had a whole conversation about it. And it's like, bro, like why are you trying to stop my bro?
Wow. So remember the whole Consciousnov situation that she reacted to, and she put up on Consciousnov's platform and everything and caused all that ruckus, and then she later came back and apologized to DVD and apologized to Consciousnov and said that her issue was apparently she didn't know that Halo, that he was going to be on a stream at all, get along on Consciousnov, which is kind of weird because they both put their baby on social media. Both of them equally do that. There are just as many clips of Halo with Halle that she's posted as there are DVD and Halo clips that have been posted. There are clips of them together, recording content with them and Halo. And she did take responsibility, and she said she had overreacted. And now DDG is saying that she also lied because she also knew. So could this be once again a manifestation of Halle, baby, stirring that motherfucking pot, being territorial, being controlling, micromanaging, all the things that her baby daddy accused her of being, and things that she's admitted to being.
Like he's literally one of the best fathers that I've ever, I've seen personally, like out of my friends and stuff like that. Him and Dub, you know what I'm saying? Two of the best fathers that I've met. And it's like, bro, at the end of the day, bro, I know that Didi would trade all this, bro, for just to, you know what I'm saying? I know you want to trade for just to see his son more, you know what I'm saying?
But here's the thing, Honor Aries, even if she didn't know all of the details, etc., I mean, to be honest, he wasn't obligated to tell her. It's his time with his son. If he want to take Halo to a water park, take him to a festival, I mean, while she can not like those things, I mean, he doesn't owe it to her as a father who also has custody of his son, to per se, inform her about anything, yet alone every single grueling detail, etc. It is a nice courtesy, but I mean, it's like he gonna do whatever he do, and on his time with his son, you gonna do whatever you do on your time with your son. Like, the micromanaging is a lot, especially when like people just trying to get into their groove and they trying to do what they do as parents. But once again, she said she overreacted, so she took responsibility for being a maniac in that moment and for doing the most. And once again, she done admit it. That's what she does, girl. Controlling, territorial, blah blah blah. So it's baby, it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on.
But he's a great fucking father, and that's why I always commend.
Just like DVD didn't like that they was in St. Lucia, he damn sure ain't gonna like her having their son in Italy, completely outside of the United States. He ain't gonna like it. And even if there wasn't a court order, I mean, he get to have his feelings about that. But ultimately, if on her time she wants to take their son to Italy, she should be able to do that. I don't think that a part of co-parenting is going to always result in both parents always being happy, because people do have to have like their own individual autonomy in a situation. And a part of co-parenting is a thing called trust. And if you couldn't muster it as boyfriend and girlfriends, you're definitely going to have to figure out how to have that as parents, because now it matters. And y'all both are going to have a right to guide y'all's son and to raise y'all's son accordingly. And the reality is, some things as co-parents, you're going to be on the same page about. Some things you're not. And you just got to be big boys and big girls about it and make space to not always feel satisfied with every single thing the other person is doing, because that's just naturally going to happen.
For anything, for being able to be there and always, bro, I know when he sees his son, bro, he has a genuine fucking smile and genuine happiness that comes with that. And that's why I fuck with that. You know what I'm saying, bro? And I kind of, as a younger man, I look at that and I kind of take inspiration from that, how to be with my son and how to be with my daughter, or anybody that, you know what I'm saying, anybody I have kids with. I kind of want to model myself after that, because that.
Baby, when I tell you, baby, these streamers are getting paid, baby, they making their motherfucking money, baby. The ads are adding, girl. The ads are adding.
That's what I want that love connection to be, And it's like, bro, I don't like how people can kind of just like, when they see that you are so great and want to be awesome and want to just be with your son, it's like they use the only thing against you to take that away. What the And I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like, as a kid, when I was younger, I never really got that. Like, you gotta realize my mom, I love my mom. My mom used to be saying stuff about my dad and stuff like that. And my dad would, like, say stuff about my mom and stuff. But it's like, as I got older, it's like, like, you start seeing yourself. Like, what the all my dad wanted to do is just be with us. Like, literally. You know what I'm saying? All she wanted to do was be with us. So I don't.
Okay, so to that point, I kind of touched on this a little bit in the last live we did about this. I know that there are women who have been hurt. I know that there's the women who have been disappointed, who have had to put up with shitty baby daddies, who have had to deal with fathers that they couldn't do anything about getting any type of support from financially, emotionally, etc. We lived in a culture where we have heard a lot of those testimonies and stories. And during that time that we was hearing a lot from women about their experience of disgruntled baby fathers and absentee baby daddies, men largely remained pretty quiet, because men kind of culturally think it's a feminine thing to complain, think it's a feminine thing to admit to being hurt or to losing in a situation. So because of patriarchy, men have largely kept their own horror stories regarding their experience of co-parenting silent until this new age, where now men are creating space for men to talk about the way they're impacted by culture, their experience of women, their experience of other men, their experience of co-parenting. And a lot of men are being open about being forced out of their children's life. A lot of daughters and sons who were raised by their mothers became adults who realized that their mother played a large role in why the father was not around, unfortunately weaponizing the kids against the dad and making it practically impossible at times for the father to be able to have a fluid, healthy co-parenting experience. This has led to later in life issues between those kids, those grown kids and their mothers. If you type in social media, bitter baby mama, or if you type in a headline in the search engine like the mother of my child is keeping me from my kid, you will find droves of videos by men across the spectrum, white, black, etc., who are providing their testimony of the way they were iced out, the way they had their kids weaponized against them, who are telling their stories. I have a friend who's going through a very, very nasty custody battle with the mother of his child. And he was very confused in terms of how to work around some of the similar things that are going on between Halle and DVD. Now, in Halle and DVD's situation, I don't know who's telling the truth. I don't know the legitimacy and substance of her claims against DVD. That will play out in court. But in my friend's situation, he was dealing with a baby mama who tried to control him through the relationship. Once she couldn't get her way in their relationship, and this was after they've had their first child together, she began to use the child against him because she knew that that's where his heart was. That resulted in her collapsing their relationship, putting him out. She also weaponized the police against him, made false claims against him that she was being abused, etc. None of those things were true at all. And she has continued to make it hard for him to see his kid. They can't even have a conversation about the child without her, harassing him about other women, her trying to lure him into conversations to talk about, her feelings about their relationship, etc. And when she's not satisfied with him not kissing her ass, or when she's not satisfied with him as a person, which he doesn't want to even have a personal relationship. He only wants to have a parental co-parenting relationship to her, but she's still trying to get her needs met as a disgruntled ex and as someone that really secretly still has feelings for him. And when he doesn't play into that, she then withholds their child. She will agree, for the child to be in his presence on this day and that day, not do so. She'll change up plans. She'll do all type of shit. She'll take pictures with other men with their child and gaslight him on social media. And this causes my friend extreme mental distress. Like, there's been times where I've had to talk him off of ending up in an orange jumpsuit. Like, the gaslighting, the mind games, throwing him out on his ass, kicking him out of their place, withholding his kid, terrorizing him by way of withholding the kid. Like, it did numbers on my friend's mental health, and he's still going through it right now. And even dealing with the courts, like, that was a fucking headache because, it required $3,500 to $5,500 just to retain a family lawyer. I don't know anybody who's been through family court, it is very fucking expensive, and family attorneys are very expensive. And so if you're just an everyday person, you know, living from check to check, trying to meet you know, ends meet daily, you don't have lawyer money just sitting around to throw to fucking attorneys. You don't have thousands of dollars to go retain a attorney about a matter that's going to play out for months, if not years. My friend is a part of a dad support group on Facebook, and it's a space that's been carved out for fathers where they can get information from other dads who have had to navigate family court, have had to navigate custody issues. Some of those fathers in that group were in custody battles for like 6, 7, 10 years and spent $100,000 total just to finally get access to their kid. Spent $100,000, $75,000 in family court alone just to get legal custody of their kids. So imagine if you're not a rich person and you're not wealthy, you're not upper class, you know, have a decent wage, but you don't have that type of, you know, expendable and disposable fucking income, you're going to be at odds. So, you know, even getting the courts involved is costly. These are not, you know, free services. And then there's still all the time in between. And you don't get to dictate how long the courts also take. You know, if the other parent is also lying, manipulating, and, you know, asking for continuances, things to intentionally slow down custody, or they all out go and run away with the kid. You know, parental abandonment is a real thing. You know, so these are all the nuances of dealing with the custody issue when you have a disgruntled ex, etc. And so I've seen what this fucking looked like for both women who have been abandoned in the process of being mothers, and I've seen what this looks like for men who have had to deal with a menacing mother who is dead smack on getting her revenge against the baby daddy because of her personal disappointments from a relationship that either never was or that came to an end, and is now using the kid as a bargaining tool and using the kid as, you know, a flaming sword. It's horrendous. It's fucking horrible. I also have a brother who has had to go through this very same thing. So it's a mess, child. It's not as easy and 1, 2, 3. And baby, when you in a situation and you being lied on and a person is weaponizing the courts and children and all this shit, baby, it's wild. It's fucking wild. And some people end up dead. Some people end up claiming their life. Some people end up taking the other parent completely the fuck out. It gets real dark. I would not encourage anybody to be playing with people's feelings, especially when it comes to children and all this shit. And if you find yourself in a situation where you got to share custody with somebody who failed you relationally, they failed you personally, but now y'all in a co-parenting situation, I advise you to get help. Rather than play mind games with the other parent. Just get help about your heartbreak and your personal feelings, child. Because some things are so dear to people's hearts that people will contemplate doing very irrational things to alleviate themselves of the stress that comes with being played with in every way, shape, or form, as in the situation I just described, child.
Women, like, I'm not saying all women, but some women literally can use their kids or anything to try to keep them away from their, either to see their baby daddy or keep them away from their baby daddy. And that's something I never wish on any type of man, ever. And I don't care, bro. Like, I'm always going to speak, like, about my brother and all different type of shit, bro. No matter what, I don't give a fuck, bro. This doing me when I've been on my lowest, that's when to off myself and all different type, bro. I would never, ever want that. People say, and I see some people say, oh, they're not speaking on it, whatever, because it's true. Man, that's not fucking true, bro. If that's why is she coming out right now with all this? If that shit in January, why she ain't do all that shit in January? Why you gotta wait 6 months? 6 months and all this other shit? Like, why are you taking that route? You can't prove that this is a bad father. You can't prove this is a bad father. You can't do that route. Or you can't prove that he's not trying to co-parent or do anything. So you gotta pull this, like, this card. It's weird. It's weird. It's just weird, bro.
This is the pink salt recipe that took me from 179.
All right, we're going to listen to a bit more of him, and then we're going to get into the brother speaking.
Bro, and I don't like seeing my brother down or any of that type of shit. I'm always gonna speak well, speak high of my brother. You know what I'm saying? It's just weird how the timing of everything is. Personally, to me.
I mean, at this point, it's not even a mystery. Halle practically said in her complaint she wants to take her son to Italy for 2 months uninterrupted, and she obviously got advised by her lawyers on how to accomplish that, and it was by filing a restraining order against DVD, which would obstruct custody temporary. It would suspend custody temporarily and would put her in a position to be the sole parent until the courts sort that out. She literally said that at the end of her declaration. So this is really about Halo. It's not even about what she claimed as it relates to abuse. She gave so many Easter eggs throughout her declaration that this had to do with custody and obtaining Halo. And I'm gonna do you one even better. The general allegations she made against the family, like, oh, he abused me, and then when I went to go tell them, they pretty much didn't do anything, and I left hysterically. The reason why she's planting those seeds already in her declaration is because not only does she want to keep DVD from Halo so that she can control custody and she can continue to hoard her son without having to share him with the father, but she wanted to make sure to plant enough seed against the family, aka the mother, aka the grandmother, so that when it's time to go to battle for this, she can also disrupt any attempt from the grandparents to get custody as well, because in certain states, grandparents are entitled to custody regarding their grandchildren. A lot of states have now put legislation in place that grandparents can use in support of them having access to their grandchildren. That declaration is strategy. And once again, baby, I got to give it the fuck up to her attorneys, because they look, like Chloe, yes, it is true. Halle is a part of the Roc Nation camp. Alex Spiro is a beast. He the one that got Tony Busby ran down. He the one that got not only the Jay-Z case that was frivolous and meritless to begin with thrown out, but also ended up exposing the bullshit of Tony Busby that resulted in Tony Busby having to dismiss all the other civil lawsuits he filed against Diddy in the Southern District of New York, girl. Alex Spear was also representing Megan Thee Stallion against Nappy Radio, and we see Nappy Radio getting her ass kicked. So with Chloe and Halle being a part of the Roc Nation camp, girl, of course, they have access to the baddest attorneys. They have access, girl, to the best of the best of the best of the best. And this lawsuit, and not this, I keep calling this a lawsuit, this restraining order, it understood the assignment. And because, you know, I'm into legality and I'm into litigation, there are certain, I may read a legal document very differently than the average person. And so my brain will go, this is very, girl, I can see what you're doing here. I can see how you're aligning the shit. I see, baby, I see it. Okay, now if you're not up on that type of shit, you may not catch it. So you just may, you know, just take it for what it is at face value, girl. But this was genius of a restraining order. The timing of it is no mystery. She wants to take Halo to Italy for 2 months uninterrupted. She's already said in previous live streams when she was on set for videos and movies that she needs her child. She can't operate without him. She needs him in order to do the scenes. We played all that footage in our last live, and Halle will be damned if she has to go out of the country and can't have access to her child, who she harvests energy from. Okay, that emotional support, baby. Halle is harnessing energy from that child. She's in a situation legally where she's going to have a little bit of the upper hand as a woman. This makes the situation very fascinating.
If you want to ask me, I think Halle's part of the Illuminati. Real shit. You ask me? If you ask me, bro, real shit. So I'm just saying all this shit, bro. Like, that's just not cool, bro. And that's what I'm saying. DD didn't sell his soul, so now they're trying to get him. I don't care, bro. I know Jay-Z gonna be on my ass after this, and Beyonce. But I don't give a fuck, bro. If the CIA niggas come to my door, then they come knocking on my fucking door. It is what it is, bro. I'm DDG squad, bro. Real shit. They coming for me. It is what it is. I don't even think none of this is even fucking true. This shit is what it is. Real shit, bro. I'm sorry, bro. It is what it is, bro. I'm always gonna ride, bro. This is, and you know what's crazy? Millions of people go through this. Black fathers go through this, and it's not publicized. It's not publicized, bro. It's not publicized. So these are the situations I know other fathers and other people can always go through, are going through this, so they can relate to this type. But I'm just saying, bro, I just don't like how people just, you know, people kind of just like, they can portray us something. And you know what's crazy, bro? DD has always held his tongue the whole time. Bro, they've been through so much, bro. Real shit. Real shit. DD used to tell me, Nick, she used to smack the shit out of him on the bed. He chilling. She smacked the shit out of him. Real shit.
This ain't funny. It's just the way he explained this shit that's funny, okay? But as soon as he said that, I could not help but think about DVD sitting his ass on the bed, minding his business, and Halle saying out of her own mouth that she starts shit with her man, just hauling off and smacking the fuck out of his ass just because, girl. Just because, girl. Okay? So, look, Halle admitted she toxic, baby. She admitted she starts shit without warrant. And if she feels violated in any kind of way, no matter how petty or whatever, she goes to hell and she chops it up to being an Aries girl. So she knows how to escalate situations. She knows how to take a small situation and turn it into a big situation and work it to her advantage. That's her truth. Her truth. So seeing what's going on now, it's hard to not consider if largely what's going on between her and DD with this custody situation has a lot to do with how she is and her being very clever. And like she said, baby, she looked in that camera and said, y'all don't know me, bitch. I know y'all think I'm a good girl and I'm a nice girl, y'all. Y'all don't motherfucking know me. So y'all be reminded. Y'all don't know her, girl. She caught that shit. Y'all know the image, bitch. Y'all don't know me. Y'all know me, girl. Child.
Pow, you sitting on in his bed. Pow. Like.
All right, run them lights up. Run them lights up, girl. Because the ads are adding, child.
Like, real shit. That's what I'm saying, bro. Real shit. Like, I'm saying, bro. Like, I'm just saying, bro. Like, he not going to talk or whatever the fuck he want to say. Whatever, bro. He can say whatever he want or you're not going to say. But I'm not going to let people think that my dog is some fucking abuser or something, bro. Hell nah. Hell no, I'm not gonna let no people think my dog an abuser or some shit.
I'm also going to say this and being fair and non-biased and letting the pendulum swing from one side to the other. while I do understand character witnesses, I do understand that character witnesses matter. Just like it would make perfect sense if Chloe was to come to Haley's defense. I would expect that. This is what I would be arguing. If I was DDG's family and his girl was accusing him of abuse, even if I personally did not believe those allegations, because maybe I've had a level, for whatever reason, I just don't believe that my brother, my son, my uncle, my best friend, whatever, fine. But I think you do get into sticky water when you speak in a matter of a fact way about someone else's claims, because the reality is that all these friends and family, they're not around for the intimate moments between DVD and Chicken of the Sea. They're not around. So for all they know, DVD has put his hands on Ariel. For all Chloe and her family knows, Ariel could be putting her hands on DVD. DVD just never ran to the police or to the courts about it. And of course, most men don't, because they see that as emasculation. So most men don't report, DVD from their girlfriends and from women in their life or whatever. But I would probably withhold, unless I had evidence, unless I had some type of objective evidence to support why I'm saying this definitely did not happen. She's absolutely lying. If I didn't have enough evidence to support that, I would refrain from arguing that publicly, even if I held that sentiment privately. And what I would do instead as an alternative is say, look, Ariel and DVD, they got to fight that part of this thing out about, whether he's put his hands on her or not. However, what that got to do with his right to custody as a father. I think that's a fair argument, rather than kind of getting into whether the abuse claims are true or not true, etc. I think just to be on the politically correct side of it all, I would probably just neutralize myself on that front and just argue that DVD and Chicken of the Sea experience is one thing, but that shouldn't have anything to do with him being kept from Halo, because at the end of the day, he's not an endangerment to his son. And one thing shouldn't be made about another thing.
It is not no fucking abuse. This do not be putting his hands on women or trying to do that type of, bro. Never. And if I didn't really believe in that, bro, or believe in my dog, I wouldn't even come on there and say anything. But it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. I'm always gonna talk. Y'all can't tell me whatever to talk or whatever. Always gonna be on my man's, bro, and speak for my man, especially some shit that could be detrimental to his fucking career, bro. I don't care what y'all niggas say, bro. I don't give a fuck. Niggas can hate me, niggas can love me or some shit. Like I said, I don't give a fuck. Real shit. I'm not gonna. And I talk to my brother on a day-to-day basis, bro. If you gonna sue me, sue me. It is what it is. It is what it is, twin. It is what it is. This might be my last fucking stream, y'all. Hopefully they don't ban me for fucking 3,000 years, okay?
I was creeped out about the AI shit. Somebody sent me the AI shit. I'm gonna pull it up too. Somebody sent me the AI shit of him arguing with the AI. AI Haley. That gave me the creeps. I got the creeps from watching that shit. I could feel the creeps. I got literal energetic vibrational creeps from hearing an AI voice of Haley and watching him engage. I don't know whether he called that, being therapeutic for him. Certain things he can say to the AI version, he not gonna say to the real life version, girl. I don't know whether that's his way of doing his shadow work, girl, and creating a alternative. Is I ain't gonna cuss her out, baby, but I'm gonna tell her everything I motherfucking think and hold it in my heart to the art of, but baby, I think we could have did without being brought into the group chat you know, he could play with that AI shit privately, but to see it as a consumer, it creeped me out real bad. Like, it was just something very creepy about it. I don't know whether it was just the AI voice itself, but it just really, I was spooked and nervous. It was very creepy, very creepy.
I'm just saying, bro. Real, bro. It's just the timing of everything. The timing of everything is fucked up. What?
The claims from Ruby Rose are claims. They're just that. I mean, what we supposed to say about claims? I mean, they're claims. You know, I mean, the problem with claims, right, especially when people don't follow claims up in any substantive way, is that they end up being null and void. You know, a claim is a claim. Now, we did address Ruby Rose in the last update. What's weird about Ruby Rose is that Ruby Rose is a known liar. She's a clout chaser. She's told provable and debunked lies on other men and public figures. So the public don't even take Ruby Rose seriously because Ruby Rose is a clown. The other weird thing that Ruby Rose did when her text thread with DVD was leaked of her saying, you know, yeah, like you know, putting your hands on me, da 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 da. Like I had to admit he didn't defend himself against those claims, so I had to assume that there's some substance there. You know, he never said, bitch, what you talking about? He never said none of that. He just kept threatening that if she continued to talk shit, that he was going to ruin her. So, you know, that's interesting. But then she turned around years after that in an interview and said that he was one of her favorite exes, that he was a good time, he was adventurous, and that he's one of her favorite exes. Well, you optically speaking, you can't, it's not best to have all of that at once. It can't be that he abused you, put his hands on you, which can be true, but then you turn around and also call the man that you claimed put his hands on you your favorite ex-lover. That just is not going to do anything for your narrative. It's not going to do anything at all. It actually is going to just flush it all the way down the fucking toilet, and you're going to be reduced to being a clown again. Because what the fuck are people supposed to do with that? Why would you be hailing and upholding and pedestalizing a man that you're saying physically abused you? No matter how much you might have liked other parts of him, all of that becomes undone at the moment that he begins to abuse you emotionally, mentally, and or physically. And no way would I be bragging outwardly about someone who was abusing me privately. So because Ruby Rose does all this shit, she clout chase, she lies on people, he abused her on one hand, her favorite ex, null and void. It cancels itself out. So, you know, I mean, I don't know what to say.
Why is this not posted in January? January is my birthday. Why?
All right, so enough with Deshae, she and the Illuminati. She done went upside his friend's head for no reason, etc. Hailey done admitted she toxic and start shit for no reason with her niggas. Make of that what you will. Let's get into the brother who was very grieved. Is this a video? Let me see. He got yeah. The brother Dub, very emotional in this video, broke down crying, was trying his best not to do Hailey in, trying to keep it respectful, but was obviously very hurt over, you know, what's now manifested. Also does not believe that DDG has been physically abusing Hailey, which once again, nobody really knows but Hailey and DVD what has truly transpired. But there's some things he's going to say in here that I find to be interesting because, well, we'll get to that. This is Dub, DVD's brother, responding to the restraining order and some of the general claims made about DVD's family, which could include him. So he definitely has a right to step into the group chat and speak his experience, since she made claims about the way that the family allegedly responded to her claims. I guess they're claiming that she never expressed any abuse to them at all. You know, and they would never tolerate DVD abusing anybody, yet alone any women in his life. So this is what he had to say.
Which was 1 a.m. Miami time. That's where he at, right? And we were just talking regularly because the internet is the internet, right? And the truth is the truth, and the lie is a lie, and it's kind of hard. But all right, let me speak on this. So I seen a post that said that, hey, look,
I wonder if Honeybook has any new
Baby,
clients
we
for
ain't
me
even
today.
got 60 seconds into the damn video, girl, and it's already a damn commercial, child. My God, today. My God, today.
Halo's mom has a restraining order on my brother. And the restraining order is that he can't see Halo or something like that. I don't know what the...
So the brother, her story is actually going to address what you just said. That lot of him finding out about the custody DVD, knew and acted surprised and used internet. Not necessarily. The brother is going to say that he didn't know. He's going to explain kind of what happened.
You know, like he got a restraining order, he can't see Halo. Shit like that. And, you know, that we're just speaking on that, right? To be honest, and it's kind of like weird for me to say this, but I have to switch it up now. But it's weird for me to say this. Up until 2 days ago, I had no hate, no misleading, no negative, no blah blah blah, anything in that malicious mindset of Halle. Like I had nothing bad bad to say about her. And then again, at the same time I'm saying that, I had nothing like, lovely, nothing, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, lovey. It was just like normal. You know what I'm saying? Just like I got nothing bad, nothing good, great to say about like George. I got nothing bad, nothing good to say. They just normal. those are my normal family members, right? Those are normal. Because I had nothing, like it was like, I'm like, bro, my brother having baby mama problems. Like I'm having baby mama problems. Everybody in this world having baby mama problems. And I was just basing me and her relationship. And me and her relationship is cordial. You know what I'm saying? It was just like normal, just like anybody else. But with the allegations that I'm seeing, I'm going to be honest. I know them too. This is me. And I'm being honest with y'all. And this is my whole stand on that. I know for a fact that them two, these two right here, right? I know for a fact that these two, let me show you. You know what I'm saying? See the chain. You know what I'm saying? Wait. Let me show you. It's popping up, I think. Okay. You see that's Halle's house. That's Halle's cat. At one point, them loved each other, bro. You feel me? At one point, them loved each other, right? But I know now them hate each other. I know that now. I know now that at one point they love each other, at one point they hate each other, and in the middle they came up with Halo. Which is the best thing in the world. The thing is that nothing in this world is forever. Not your relationship, not you, not that food. Nothing in this world is forever. So the thing is that I don't think that neither one of them is bad people, right? But I do think that the hardest thing to do in this world, right? The hardest thing to do in this world, y'all, is to cope with the person that you thought you was going to be with for life, to move on.
How it's definitely coming up.
All right. Y'all thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. They paying bills and we paying them too, child. Run them likes up.
The hardest thing in life is to move on, right? So my opinion on this is it's hard. I think it was hard for Halle to see my brother moving on and being okay with somebody that she thought that she was going to be with for life and raise his family with alone. But just like me and just like everybody else that like a father, like, bro, you get one life. You have to be happy in your life. And to be honest, and I'm saying this to be honest, because I don't want to speak on my brother's situation because he know the truth. I know the truth. Halle know the truth. Bro, this is what y'all got to understand. The people that's commented on here, the people that's in these tweet comments, the people that's in Twitter comments, y'all are really just like, no disrespect when I say this, but y'all are normal people, normal 9-to-5 people, normal, just like 99% of the world, 99% of the world. These two people that y'all are talking about are multi-millionaires, bro. They're multi-millionaires. That means that when they have a problem, it's not like what you finna go do. You walk to the court and then the court send a letter to your baby daddy. No, these are powerful lawyers, bro. I don't like powerful lawyers. So that's all I'm saying. I'm just saying that these have powerful lawyers, bro. Like that can say anything. How the fuck do you walk into a courtroom, get a restraining order, and then TMZ find out before my brother find out? That's not normal, y'all. Y'all not listening to what I'm saying. That's not normal. How do you go into a courtroom, request a thing, and then TMZ tells you before the person tells you? My thing is that when you're on top, my thing is like, I don't listen. I've been in a room with these two people. I'm gonna be honest.
All right, we gotta address that, baby. Okay, so remember when DVD had found out on live stream and his homeboy that he was on live with had broke the news or whatever, and then we also went live and we was having a conversation because typically when it comes to protective orders, restraining orders, all of these things, the defendant is put on notice, right? You are served either via the police department or you're served in whatever fashion you are served, but you are served by a process server, etc. girl. So we was like, well, how could he not know? You know, because typically in proceedings like this, you have to be served and put on notice so that you have an opportunity to show up to the initial hearing, blah, 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 blah. So what the brother just revealed is that because of Halle's celebrity, she was able to use her privilege as a celebrity to escalate a emergency hearing and bypass some of their traditional protocol that everyday folk would have been subjected to, and that media like TMZ was already on deck, which is why they had the receipts and the tea prior to DVD even knowing, etc. girl. So yeah, now it's being argued that no, he was genuinely surprised. He had not been put on official notice. And he literally found out when everybody else did, and that her celebrity played a large part in her being able to go about this the way in which she went about this. And once again, we know that celebrities do have a preferential treatment. We know that celebrities, money talk, bullshit walks, high profile people are able to exist in a way and have access in a way and have privileges in ways that everyday people do not, simply because of their status, because of their celebrity, because of their wealth, etc.
Ever. And I'm being honest. I've never seen my brother put his hands on a woman. Now, I remember never mind. I was going to say something. I remember I got into it with my mom when my brother passed. I was like yelling. I was like yelling at my mom, and she was yelling at me back. And I seen how how my brother passed. You know how emotions is with.
Lily, remember the times you got lost? And what's the first thing you heard?
All right, please run those thumbs up, y'all. So the brother is claimed that DVD was not put on notice. Halle was able to bypass traditional protocol because of her celebrity to get him, to get a judge to, grant this situation, child. Once again, girl, we are talking about, a woman who definitely, is connected to powerful resources, girl. She got that Rock Nation machine, baby. Okay, she got that Beyonce, Jay-Z machine, baby. Okay, she got that celebrity machine behind her, and both of them are public figures, so they both really have privileges, she's using her privilege to her advantage, according to the brother, child.
Emotions is when the brother passed, and this is my twin brother. And my mom wanted me to stay in the house, and I didn't want to stay. I wanted to do some retaliation stuff, and he was yelling back and forth. And me and my brother got into it because he stopped yelling at my mama like that. He's very protective when it comes to women, as you can see. And all I know, it kind of hurt to say that it is abusive. It kind of hurt. It kind of hurt to say that is abusive because I know he not. And to be honest, that's the easiest way. The easiest way to get full custody of your child. Full custody of your child.
And it's true. We had looked it up in the last update, and in one of the legal pages that I had pulled up, it was talking about some of the reasons why a parent might file a frivolous restraining order or a untrue restraining order, and those reasons historically that somebody may weaponize claims that result in a restraining order initially being granted is to halt custody, because it puts the petitioner, the parent, the plaintiff, it defaults them to sole custody until the courts figure out the situation. So it allows for this lapse in time where the sole parent doesn't have to deal at all with the other parent. And so people have weaponized restraining orders to accomplish that, even if the merits of the restraining order were not true.
Easiest way to get legal documentation. That's the easiest way to get full custody of your child. Because if we being honest, I got to speak on my brother's behalf. I guess I don't even know if that restraining order is true, but the thing is with my brother is that, and I'm gonna be honest and say this, he don't have the same luxuries that I have. So
and he's going to be served now because they have a court hearing coming up. Anna Aries says that it was an emergency TPO in California. He didn't have to be served for them to put it in place. He will be served if he hasn't already by now, but the things are set in stone right now until June. Yep.
The same luxuries I have. Because me and
the database is asking the $1 million question: is abuse happening? We don't know. It's open investigation right now. They have a court date, so DVD will be able to speak to the things that Halle is alleging. So we'll have to just stay tuned, like any other litigation, and see what happens. See what he argues. See what the judge rules on, etc. So he's going to have his day in court to fight this thing out tooth and nail.
I had a luxury of making the agreement with Brittany, like, hey, I'm 50-50. My brother didn't have the luxury of that, because to be honest, It's crazy to say, but to be honest, this has never been able to just get Halo. So now it's virtually impossible for him to get Halo. What I'm saying on these things is that my brother was pleading to y'all. He was saying it in so many words, like, damn, I miss my son. And
we were telling your brother to go to the courts because he had an opportunity to get in front of this before Haley did. When DDG first came and said that he was having custody issues and she was with his son, I said then, run your ass down there and go to the courts, because typically if y'all haven't been able to work it out by now, y'all not going to be able to work it out without some type of third party intervention. And he had his reasons for why, you know, he didn't want to disrupt her public image. He didn't want, you know, to have to go into some things, according to him, that would be problematic for her public image if he had to take this thing to the court. So his excuse for not doing that was because he doesn't really want to harm her in that way. And I would imagine so, because hell, he needs her ass to be able to make money in this industry too, and to be a working girl so that she can contribute and go half on a damn baby. So I definitely understand his, you know, his invested interest in not wanting to escalate things, because then maybe certain things about their relationship and about her would not play out well potentially, since she is marketed a certain way, and some of the reality of who she actually is and certain things that she's done maybe to him, etc., you know, it would leave a souring impact on her career, and he didn't really want to risk that happening. He just want them to be amicable as co-parents, and thought that maybe going to the internet was the lesser of the two evils between choosing the courts and choosing the internet. He felt like, I'd rather take my chances on the internet. That would not be as bad as escalating things legally, etc. But even given all of that, I get it. But the reality is, it's like, sir, y'all been a parent now for what, over a year? If you're having these type of problems, they more than likely are going to remain. So you just need to go do what you got to do. As a result of him not doing it, Haley now has been able to kind of have initial, she got a home start advantage by initiating the legal proceedings and being able to lead the narrative. I always tell people, I believe in preventing. I'm a preventionalist, if that's even a fucking word. I think it's easier to get ahead of something and to pull the trigger first than to have to follow it up. Even though sometimes responding can be more beneficial, depending on what's going on. But typically, I'm like, always control the narrative first. Always, you know, get the initial narrative, get behind the wheel of the truth, and assert your personal truth and the facts yourself, versus being on the receiving end. Because typically, people only remember the person who kind of struck first. They don't remember all the work that the other person did trying to dissolve the initial narrative. Like, a lot of people know more about the fact that Jane Doe sued Jay-Z for grape than they do about the details and the nuance of how he went about debunking that, making those claims completely untrue. And because Jane Doe's initiative, her initial narrative was so violent and so heinous and so extreme, it made following behind that as the innocent party attempting to debunk that very difficult, which is why the remnants of that narrative are still following Jay-Z even right now. He's still being trolled and still being called a rapist and still even though that case was debunked, dismissed, thrown out, and he's turned around and sued her attorney and her ass for defamation of character. But people only remember a lot of times the initial narrative. They don't remember the truth. They don't remember the resolve. So because she has strike first legally, she got home advantage on the narrative. He's going to have to really come out swinging and really put his back into meeting this with equal measure.
Call and tell me like, man, I miss Halo, or he'll see me woo up. He'd be like, damn, can't wait to get Halo. And that's off the internet. Man, y'all, I'm being honest, bro.
And Barbie boy, I said that in this video. I said, baby, I got to give it to her. Hold on, what the fuck did I do? I got to give it to her. She played her hand well, baby. I got to chop it up to her lawyers, girl. They lawyered. Her lawyers, they lawyered down to the ground. I mean, this is genius in terms of the way she is moving through this. And I mean, hell, this is the shit that good lawyering is made out of, baby. And like they say about love, baby, all is fair in love and in war. You know, truth or lies, baby. You know, it's about that chessboard cleverness and that chessboard wisdom.
I'll be honest, and this gonna hurt my heart to say, and it's literally making me like hella emotional, bro. That's why my brother streams, bro. That's why my brother streams, because he can't see Halo how he want to, bro. That's why y'all see my brother on stream until he goes to sleep. And this kind of like low-key up, bro.
He about to start crying.
I'm not gonna lie.
He crying in the car.
Wait. I'm not gonna lie. Hold on, child. I don't want to be like emotional on camera type. But
he's crying.
Yeah. Blood got boring, so I switched to juices.
Crying and simultaneously making money, baby. You can't be mad at capitalism, girl.
Nah. Hold on, chat. I ain't gonna turn off the little thing, but
oh shit! I don't. Hold on. I ain't meant to do that. Poor Tink Tink. Poor Tink Tink. Wooch. It's hard to watch people that you care about go through, you know, some pretty heavy shit, you know, allegations of this kind, family breakdown. You know, Halo is his relative too. You know, Halo is his nephew. So, you know, this infringes upon also, you know, their relationship to Halo right now. So, you know, you never want to see, never want to see it come down to this as a family chat.
Put these motherfucking glasses on, bro. Oh man. I had to put these glasses on, chat. But nigga, the reason why my brother is streaming so much, bro, and y'all see this on that for hours, bro, is because that called me and be like, it hurt, bro.
It's his real brother, yeah. They got the same mom and stuff. I think they got the same. They either got the same. Oh yeah, they got the same mom. Mm-hmm. That's his biological brother. bit here.
I know, Brittany don't like you, man. I know she like probably hates you, bro, but what do you do to get woo up every day? Like, how do you still have him with y'all relationship, bro? Like,
so I guess he's talking about his own baby mama. I guess him and his baby mama kind of like, you know, they be having their problems. They still struggle to get along, but nonetheless, he still gets to see his kid and stuff. It doesn't like bleed over into the co-parenting thing, whatever his personal issues are with his baby mama. So DVD was asking him, you know, like how were you able to make that happen? You know, how were y'all able to have, y'all still got problems, but it don't bleed over into, you know, custody.
Bro, I just, you know, I'm like, on that aspect, I don't know, bro. I like keep it normal, bro. Like, I don't say nothing about her, bro. I don't say nothing. I still give her what she want. I still make sure she's like 100% good, bro. So,
and that's something that DVD could do better at. For a while, you know, he been chill publicly, but you know, over the past few months, he has started to troll indirectly, directly, the fake AI Haley stuff. It's like, if you already got a hard situation going on privately, there's no way that you don't know that fucking with that person publicly is going to make the shit going on privately any goddamn better. You got to have enough maturity and enough goddamn common sense to know that you ain't gonna make shit better by fucking with that person on a, you know, publicly. So DVD, you know, need to sit his ass down. You know, I wouldn't be fucking with my baby mama publicly if we already having private fucking issues. So
I never have to not be with my kid.
he actually don't always have his son. Y'all only think he does because y'all see clips circulated all day, every day of him and Halo, him and Halo, him and Halo. But if you actually watch DVD and you watch his streams and stuff, he actually doesn't have his son to the degree that the algorithm would be having you believe he's with his child. And y'all have already heard Haley says she has Halo the majority of the time. That came out of her mouth. Even when she's working, she still has him the majority of the time. But most people don't think that because, once again, like the clips of him and Halo go viral and stay so consistently in the algorithm that it makes you perceptually believe that, oh, you know, he got his son all the fucking time. When the fuck does Haley ever have his son? But those are just clips, and that's really a perception created by the algorithm, not by the actual reality.
And the difference between him and me is, bro, he got a baby with somebody. He got a good baby. He got a beautiful child with somebody that's just as big as him, bro. So, bro, to be honest, bro, my brother don't need Halle, and Halle don't need my brother, bro. These are both. My bad, bro. Niggas gonna be trying to hate online, bro. But all I'm saying is, bro, is that my brother and Halle, them don't need each other, bro. Them are both powerful.
We've got about 50 million followers. We're in the billions of views. And we're
they're gonna have deadbeats coming on crying, but they also gonna have a lot of deadbeat mothers coming on crying, acting like they the Haley in the situation when they really the hell in the situation. It's gonna go on both sides, shy.
Powerful people, bro. Them are both, they got A-list celebrities. They don't need each other, bro. My brother do not need Halle for nothing, bro. My brother do not need Halle for nothing. Halle don't need my brother for nothing. That's the hard part, bro. I'm not saying that Brittany need me, bro. I'm not saying that I need Brittany, but she understand and I understand that, bro. Like,
well, the database says, where were his people to guide him? I mean, his people may have been guiding him, but you know, at the end of the day, all you can do is advise. That's all you can do. All you can do is tell a person, you know, to the best of your ability, check them to the best of your ability. Ultimately, people gonna make their own decisions, you know. So for all we know, they have been trying to check him, trying to tell him, you know, stay off the internet, don't be antagonizing her, even if she's dead ass wrong, like, be mature. But ultimately, you know, he's a grown ass man, so they can't make him, you know, not escalate and antagonize her. So, you know, maybe that is something that's happening, but you know, he grown. So MJ says, I can guarantee when it's DVD's time more than once, he probably canceled and wanted to switch weekends, and Haley was like, nah, or got frustrated. Well, that really hasn't been stated yet. Haley even says that, you know, I mean, he gets his son. You know, her complaint was, you know, when he's with DVD, he's in the care of DVD's mother, Halo's grandmother, and DVD isn't like there a lot of the times. But once again, DVD is also a working man. Like, she's a working woman. Hell, you know, she was talking on set in one of her live streams, and she had just sent Halo with his dad and had admitted she had him the whole time, you know, and has him the majority of the time, and she struggles to let him go. She struggles to let DVD have his time with his kid because she just loves her son so much, even though he's a great father. So I'm like, yeah, just like when he with you, babe, you got to work. You know, like she told the judge in the restraining order complaint, you know, I want to take my son to Italy for 2 months. I got to work, and I want him there, and I'm going to have full service entourage, nannies and everything. So it's not okay for the grandmother to be the care provider, because DVD still got to work even when it's his week. He's a working man. He doesn't sit on his ass. He has to work so Halo can live in that multi-million-dollar ass home. He got to work so that Halo can have expensive ass clothes and health care, and can have expensive food, and have the best of the best of the best of the best, just like you got to work. So why does it matter? What are you trying to say? You know, what's my whole thing? Like, y'all both do the same thing in that regard. So you could definitely tell in certain parts of the complaint, it was agenda driven. Some of the stuff she was saying wasn't even really logical, and also equally applied to her. But she was trying to make him a bad guy for shit that is the case for all parents. If you right now have shared custody with the other parent, you work even when you got the child. You know, you cover, you provide the daycare. It's just that you pick them up for daycare now. You know, you pick them up from school on your time, you know, but life is still lifing, you know, as if he's supposed to be home for 7 fucking days doing nothing but being a dad all day and night, as if he don't still got other commercial obligations like she does, which is why she wants to take her son to Italy while she works, not vacation, while she works, because you got to work and he got to work, and the both of y'all still want to be able to parent, rightfully so. Rightfully so.
You gotta understand, bro, is that that's one thing that I respect with Brittany, bro. She understand, bro, that like kids need they need both parents, bro. But them is so this internet shit is killing me, bro. Them so goddamn powerful, bro. Them two is so powerful, they don't need each other, bro. So it's just like, bro, you can manipulate any situation to be like, bro, it ain't nothing I can do, bro. It's nothing I can do to it. Neither one of them can do nothing to each other because they both rich, famous as popular as, and got the huge teams around them, bro. Man, I ain't crying, bro. I'm just my eyes just getting watered. My eyes just getting watered. So all I'm saying is bro, when y'all see these clips, bro, because a relationship ain't work, bro, listen to me, chat. Because a relationship ain't work is why my brother ain't seeing his son, bro. And I'm gonna be honest about that, bro. I'm gonna be honest about that.
It happens every
Appreciate
day.
Victims of 20. And I'm not emotional about
it happened to my own brother and to some of my male close friends. It happens, baby. When that relationship don't work, girl, it's sometimes it's hard on both sides. Sometimes the father can't move past the personal. Sometimes the mama can't move past the fucking personal, and it bleeds over. And look, I'm not gonna act like it's easy to co-parent with somebody who done disappointed you, somebody who done broken your heart, somebody who, you know, just don't let you down on the relationship tip, because it's definitely hard to have to still see that person, communicate with that person, share a kid with that person, and have that person in your life while you're also trying to navigate the things that took place, process the relationship, detach. You gotta mourn them while still work with them because of the child. And some people, they don't have the maturity to do that, so they need to scoot the other parent the fuck out. You know, they feel that having to collaborate with the other parent is actually keeping them from being able to move on emotionally and mentally from the relationship. So some people, girl, they get to conspiring. You know, sometimes the father gets to conspiring to icing the mama out. Sometimes the mama gets to conspiring, baby, to icing the goddamn pappy out because they can't deal. They can't deal, baby. They can't deal. They can't chew gum and tie their shoes at the same time. Can't do it.
nothing. I'm just emotional because I know my brother, bro. And that I never say about this on the internet, bro. That literally call me and be like, bro, how is it?
I used to spend over 12 hours a month.
We're going to listen to a little bit more than that. And then I want to get my final thoughts. And I'm going to drop the link. And you guys will have about 15 minutes to chime in. And then we'll get the fuck out of her.
How's it going to be when Halo get 4 years old? I'll be like, baby, week 1 through 2 is weak. That baby, when they 8 months, 2 months. Oh my God, I missed my baby when he was little. Man, call that. I told my brother, man, that's weak. That 1 year old, 2 years old, that's weak. Wait until that gets 6, 7, 8, 9. And then calling you. Bro, this who called me yesterday and said, did you know? Like, he was like telling me about that I grew up off of. He was like, did you know that he was like, did you know that in Mortal Kombat?
But that's only a dreaming. That's only if he did. We don't know if he did. You know, she got pictures that she has assigned a narrative to. So we don't know if her chipped tooth or the bruising on her arm is the result of him unjustly fighting her. Which is why he got to defend himself against us. And I expect him to do so in their coming June court date to defend that. Them bruises could be from her initiating violence against him and him restraining her, or him defending himself against her. That bruising could be the result of injury she acquired from Halo. Injury she acquired through just being accidental prone. She brushed her tooth. She was brushing her teeth, or she bit down on a crab leg, a crab boil, and cracked her tooth. I mean, these are just pictures assigned with a narrative. We don't know whether the context is just that or not. Even the screenshots of him being in her house apparently when she wasn't there. We don't know whether she was there or not. She could have been downstairs around the corner. She could have, in fact, told him, you know, you can go in through the side door. I'm not home yet, but I'll be there with Halo in 15 minutes. You can pull around. You know, I left the slide door open. And now she's weaponizing some of these things and creating and spinning a different, narrative in order to justify having sole custody. So, once again, yes, if he in fact has been abusive towards her, then she should be filing a restraining order. But like a lot of people are saying, she didn't make a police report about the violence against her. There's no other documentation of it. She only filed a police report when he took her phone and threw her phone out of the window. She never even got the police involved when they apparently was tussling, and it resulted in bruising and a chipped tooth and all this. You know, DBD is probably, as a defense, going to make her really make sense. You know, I'm sure he's going to call out, if I slammed your face into a steering wheel, first of all, how did you get from the back seat tucking Halo in to then getting behind the wheel of my car? Because actually what that would imply, Haley, is that you actually attempted to keep me from getting in my vehicle. How did you make it from the back seat, buckling him in, to your face being smashed into the steering wheel? Or are you not going to tell the courts that you were the one trying to whip my ass that night? Because you're the one on camera saying that you're problematic as fuck. You're the one on camera saying that you're territorial, you're jealous, you go to hell, you do the most, that you're not the good girl that your image pushes, etc. You're not going to tell the courts how you put your hands on me first. You're not going to tell the courts how da-da-da-da-da. The only difference is I haven't called the police. The only difference is when you be doing the most and putting your hands on me, whipping my ass, I don't talk about it. I don't go to the courts about it. You know damn well I didn't give you those injuries. Or you know damn well I gave you those injuries, but I gave you those injuries as a result of defending myself. These are the things, you know, that could possibly be, or they could be what Haley says. This could be unjust violence against her at the hands of DBD. Both of them gonna have to wrestle that thing out through this whole ordeal. And I am curious to see what DBD's side is to this. I'm going to be interested to see whether he takes responsibility for this, whether he will come to the courts and say, look, yeah, my temper got the best of me at times. She was getting on my last nerve, doing all that weird shit, poking. I snapped. I then grabbed her a time or two, you know, but I never harmed my son, you know. So he may get up there, he may lean into it, he may accept responsibility, or, you know, he may contest it because these things are not true. They have other contexts to them. But once again, the courts is giving him an opportunity to defend himself against this. And if he does successfully, it can result in this restraining order being reversed, and or at best, it will result in potentially a mutual restraining order, which typically is what happens when you got two mad-ass people who the judge can clearly see these folk don't like each other. These folk got nasty energy toward each other, baby. These folk can't stand each other, girl. And of course, it'd be like, I'm going to put you both under a mutual gag order. I'm going to put you both under a mutual restraining order. You stay the fuck away from her, and she stay the fuck away from you. God damn it. Okay? And get the fuck out of my court. And if I have to see either one of you black asses again, I'm going to throw you both in goddamn jail for contempt. Shout out to my baby father. Is it for he didn't realize he was dealing with a narcissist? Okay. Kaylee says for he didn't realize he was dealing with the narcissist. And once again, Haley, is Haley an arc? I mean, look, I'm going to let her speak again.
Anxious attachment style. Everybody knows
she has anxious attachment style, she says.
I'm a fire sign. I get very passionate. I seem nice online and innocent and everything, but you guys do not know. I will go to battle with my yelling, with my words, everything. I'm good at that, right? And if I gotta yell or check anyone, that's what I gotta do. That's just the way I be. Clap back or sit back. I always have to choose clap back. I'm sorry. I'm a very kind person. But if somebody pokes at me or the people that I love, it's over for you. I'm an Aries. Sorry. Never have I ever started drama with my boyfriend for no reason. Put it down. I you know, I'm territorial. I'm a jealous girlfriend. I'm a territorial girlfriend. Where you go, who are you with? That's me. I am nosy, number one. Number two, I like drama. I just don't like drama in my life, but I love watching it in other people's. So, love my baby. Relationship, I think.
Okay, so look, she in fact might be a female narcissist. So, you know, she just the problem with Haley and what she's admitting about herself is that she doesn't believe it's wrong simply because they're qualities of being an Aries. So instead of her like finding it an issue to be controlling, micromanaging, to be insecure, to start shit with people for no reason, to escalate situations just because she feels wrong in the situation, she doesn't find any of that behavior bad simply because she can justify it because I'm an Aries. Deal with it. Like, no, my love. Like, those are problems. And they're obviously resulting in some major fucking issues with your baby daddy. And because of the things you've admitted about yourself, this has led to why, at least on the social front, there's some people who are going to wait it out before they pass judgment because you have admitted to being a crazy bitch. Okay, so hey, you know, that for some people actually legitimizes DVD's claims about the way you have been behaving throughout this damn relationship and your manipulative ways, and you being territorial with the son and all this. This clip here opens up with, I have a inappropriate attachment style, which is her way of saying, yes, I can get possessive, I can get obsessive, and I can become very codependent. Okay, now she made those claims in the context of a relationship, but we can also see that this is the case with her son. This is what she says about her. So this is what muddies the water between her and DVD. This is what kind of just muddies all this shit up because people don't know what the fuck is really going on. They know what she's saying, but what is the real tea? What is the real truth? Because he got claims against you and you got claims against him, and you done said problematic shit about yourself, and people done said problematic shit about him, and so I'm going to follow the case. I'm going to see what this court situation gives up. And speaking of her avoidant attachment style, what's interesting, right, is one of my favorite songs by Haley is called In Your Hands. This song was released last year. It was a fan favorite. It began as a snippet, turned into a full-on record. The video is beautiful. She slayed down to the ground. Actually, I'm a really big fan of Haley's music. When she was asked about her song In Your Hands, the song is actually about her son, and it's simultaneously about a love interest. Ironically, in light of all the allegations about Haley being controlling and obsessed with her son and all the things she's admitted on camera about herself, you can actually see this like seemingly narcissism in the context of her lyrics to In Your Hands. Check out the lyrics in Your Hands. Our love is like the moonlight in the dark. No better feeling than your warm hand. You're the only name I call out when it's hard. 'Cause baby, only you know who I am. Whenever you're down and suffering, I promise that I'll be your only friend. 'Cause I know that the demon come knocking, but we will never let him in. Don't let the world ruin it, 'cause you got one chance. All in your hands. The world is yours when I'm in it. In your hands. You can't let go or you'll lose your chance. 'Cause after me, you'll never fall in love again. I'm the bandage for you when you're bleeding out. like the trees, I supply our oxygen. Whenever your thoughts, they drag you down, baby, just remember who I am. Don't let the world ruin it, because you got one chance. All in your hands. The world is yours when I'm in it. In your hands, you can't let go or you lose your chance. Because after me, you'll never fall in love again. Okay, baby. This song is about Halle propping herself up as the center of the relationships in her life, and her wanting it to be understood that it's all about her and that you ain't shit without her, that she's the very oxygen and breath and life and substance of this thing. And don't you ever forget it, baby, because there will never be nothing like her or beyond her. You're done. Okay? And she wants the person she's speaking to understand that, once again, she is the center. She is the life force and source. And that they better hold on. So she's also encouraging codependency. She's encouraging them to identify her as the source of life, only rely on her, only think of her, only think of their own power as being an extension of her, and do not conceive beyond. And when she was interviewed about the meaning of this song, she said this song is about her son, and it's about a love interest. Girl, if I was DVD girl, I'm probably giving DVD his whole defense, bitch. Just through the clips, the compilations, girl, the lyrics, the interview snippets, girl, DVD girl. You better slide me a check, bitch, because really, girl, I'm lining up your defense, honey. Okay? Shit is real over here.
Hard, they couldn't say the S word, so they said hard, period. I'm like, how do you know that? And he was just like, no, I'm just looking it up. And all the interest that I love is who I love. I'm telling you.
Something that's also put a bad taste, for those of you who have brought up a Ruby Rose, remember, Ruby Rose actually was Haley's friend. Haley went and picked up Ruby's Sloppy Seconds, which was DVD. And then when it came out that DVD was still communicating with Ruby Rose, Halle focused not on DVD, but focused on Ruby Rose and told the public not to fall basically for Ruby Rose fucking foolishness, and told everybody to mind their motherfucking business. Okay? And she was the one who was with Ruby Rose Sloppy Seconds. So she broke girl code as well. So, you know, all of that is just interesting data there. All that is just interesting shit to Little Miss Mermaid, Little Miss Ariel, the chicken of the sea.
Bro, that's just a different game, bro. That's just a different mood, bro.
Check out the newest strength
They
equipment
paying
at Planet
bills,
Fitness.
child. They're paying bills. All right, so actually,
Join the club
we can
today.
actually we can clip it there. We at the 2:24 hour mark. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop the link, girl. I'm gonna give y'all 5 minutes to come up here, sound off super quick. Conclusion, I'm going to follow the case. I'm going to report on all things concerning the case. And we'll see what plays out in June in court. And yeah, I'm just going to follow the case, y'all. All right. I'm going to drop the link in case anybody want to come up. This is a StreamYard link. We're not going to be here all night. So if y'all coming, you got to come now or forever hold your peace. We just did an update on Tory Lanez, Megan Thee Stallion, Nappy Radio, all that. Get into that previous live stream, girl, because, baby, it's just going down everywhere. We will be, over the weekend, catching up on Diddy and Cassie the last 2 days of the week. Danny DeCane has stepped into the building. Dawn Richards began testimony today. They finish up with cross-examination for Cassie. Aubrey O'Day will also be taking the stand more than likely next week. She'll probably be following Don Richards. We also have transcripts as well. We'll be doing a live reading. So we'll begin that tomorrow and Sunday, part 1 and part 2, because it's hundreds of pages of transcripts to read through, which we really don't need because we've been, getting boots to the ground reporting from UDA. And we also have been keeping up with media outlets that have pretty much been transcribing in real time, what's been taking place, play by play. But you guys wanted me to read those transcripts, so we're going to read some of those transcripts. Yes, she does say she have ring cam footage apparently of him breaking into the house, so that's something that may come to play during their court hearing. And once again, I don't believe that DDG is some saint at all. I think that it's just two toxic ass, immature, young, rich, wealthy, full of themselves as people, and money and privilege has kind of brought out, not even brought out, it's kind of just highlighted and emphasized the negative traits they already had coming into money and privilege. And now it's playing out through the bitterness of their personal relationship not working out, and is bleeding over into having to share this kid that they both love. And I believe that both of their egos are at work in this thing. I believe that both of them have contributed to toxicity in their relationship. And I'm sure he has definitely done inappropriate things, petty things. She has admitted to pettiness and that she is a petty girlfriend. She picks fights, etc. She, is territorial controlling, etc. So I think it's just one of those situations, Shy. Hey, Rumors. Can you hear me, Rumors?
Hey, I said, hey, beautiful. You look so pretty.
Hey, thank you so much, my love. How are you?
I'm good. Hey, crew. Now, y'all do me a favor. Please, thumbs up the video. Don't forget to cash out the king. And all that good stuff. Oh,
yeah.
I've been sitting here.
I'm curious to know what you think, because I know that you've been following this and you have had some strong feelings even initially. So with everything that keeps happening, like, where you at now?
So, I was talking to my sister about this, right? And she, let me just go on and on. And my sister said to me, I understand why people aren't really understanding what you're saying and why people are getting defensive. And she said, it sounds like you're on his side. And I said, what do you mean by that? She said, no. She was like, do you hear how, she was like, I get, you know what I mean, you're passionate about it or whatever. And she was like, but she was like, it's just how you approaching a situation. And I'm like, no, I just feel like just what you said is what I've always been saying, Conscious. I feel like you have two toxic ass people that, you know what I'm saying, need to get it together. But I'm going to keep my foot on Haley's neck. Like, it's enough people that got their foot on DDG's back. True story. I don't see enough people really like taking what this young lady has said about herself. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I mean, I don't know. Do you need to get her on live for her to say it to them in real time? You think they'll still like be like, you know what I'm saying, still trying to like demonize him and make him the problem and not her? Like, because it's like, for those that did not know that these are the things she said, that's one thing. But there's been a lot of people that have heard some of these things that she said about herself and still got their foot on his neck. And there's no accountability directed towards her other than we tried to tell you so. But y'all don't understand. Y'all trying to tell her something that she already knew. She said she has a type. He fit the bill.
She liked the bad boys.
She said that, yeah. Yeah, this is something that, like, if this is not checked correct, in the hill, she's going to just continue to repeat a repetitive cycle. That's all it's going to keep happening. It's going to go from a DDG to, you know what I mean, the baby or whoever, you know what I'm saying, those type of people. Like that's what she likes. And I also find it strange for people to think that's far-fetched from her, like, oh, they come from a different background, you know, yada. What does that have to do with anything? Look at the people that she hang with. This is regular degular, you know what I mean? And she may be because it seems like to be the general consistency that people like herself tend to hang with other like-minded people, and for them that's like a love, that's a code, like anything is better than nothing. There's some people that really believe that, Conscious, like if we don't have drama, we don't love and care about each other, which is just really sad and fucked up. But overall, I think they both were the problem and are the problem. I feel like I want her to do better. I definitely want him to do better, but I want her to do better mainly for herself, and even considering the child, because I feel like, even like I said a million times, if it ain't going to be him, it's going to be somebody else. Like, she's going to more than likely be the primary parent.
That's what she
and
wants.
because of that, you're going to have your child exposed to these toxic ass relationships. I could just imagine seriously because I don't think she's just toxic in her romantic relationships. I think she's just toxic as hell. You remember the first time we discussed her and this guy's issues, I said she's an Aries. I remembered seeing a clip somewhere where it was like, I'm an Aries. So everything she does is because
Did you
she's
see
an
the clip
Aries.
that I played? Did you see the compilation of her chopping
Yeah, I've been here this whole time.
all of her bad qualities up to being an Aries? So did you see that clip that I was playing today?
And as a fellow Aryan myself, yes, we do have some individually as our own beings, we have issues and toxicities that we all have to work on a daily basis. But there are certain characteristics as an Aries that we do have. But that shit is inexcusable. Y'all know I always preach about trying to show up as the best version of myself. You know what I'm saying? Flaws and all, but still trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like, show up my best self. I would never utilize or misuse the fact that I'm of a certain zodiac I'm an astrological sign as an excuse to justify my bad behavior. And I do believe that she's displaying some narcissistic traits. Like, very manipulative. I do feel that way. Like, and I think, I'm going to tell y'all, I think that comes from her being an actress. I really believe that.
Or it's a trait that makes her good at acting.
That's a strong possibility too. But I feel like people are forgetting, though, like certain, like little important things, even though they're little, they're important. The fact of the matter is, I do believe, and I've stated this repeatedly, I do believe that domestic violence has played a part in their relationship. I definitely believe that. I believe that it's been both-sided and not one-sided. I don't agree with it, but I know it happens. I don't like the fact that there's a child involved, more importantly, because I do feel some kind of way about him putting his hands on her if it's not in self-defense. Just like I feel some kind of way about her putting her hands on him if it's not self-defense.
Absolutely.
But taking into accountability of all of that, I feel like they both antagonize each other. I'm going to stand on feeling like she's predominantly more of the antagonist than anything, but it's a child involved.
I think he's equally antagonistic, and what makes me say that is based upon some of his own public responses to being aggravated with her, the fake AI Haley voice that creeps me out, and then it was also telling in the text message exchange between him and Ruby, where he kept threatening that if she, keep talking shit, he's going to end her. If that type of behavior bled over with him and Ruby, then I know that definitely, like, when she's equally not acquiesce to him, he's gotten petty and did goofy shit to aggravate her and vice versa. But I definitely think they're both equal in immaturity.
So I think, me personally, I think when it comes to them, even though they're no longer together, but when it comes, take Halo out of the equation, I think if with Halo not being a part of the equation, they're both equally antagonistic to each other. But in regards to Halo, I really do not feel like he's antagonistic to her when it comes to Halo.
Yeah,
I
I don't
just
feel that way
don't.
either.
I really don't.
Yeah. Well, not when it
So
comes
when
to
I say she's more of an antagonistic, I couple that with their personal
in the context of Halo. Mm-hmm.
and I
Yeah.
just do. I think that she's the one that actually weaponized. And I want to be clear. I do believe that he has what I believe personally. I believe that he's definitely tried to do to her what she's done to him in regards to parenting. I think he feels like if she could pull up, I could pull up. If she could do whatever, I could do whatever. And I know a lot of people, and I know why it's like that because, of patriarchy. I know a lot of people feel like women have more rights when it comes to children because we're the ones that bear the child. Then we're predominantly the ones that are raising the child or children. But I personally, as a parent, I don't feel that way. I really don't. I want, and I feel like a lot of women, especially as single moms, I think if you have a child's father that wants to be there, that actually puts in the work and the effort, I don't think that we should have the mentality like, even if you have residential custody, I still don't feel like it should be, I feel like it should be a fair trade. It should just be equal, and we have conversations that need to be had. But when it's like on my time, it's my time. You know what I mean? You don't get to question what I'm doing. Like if we have that amicable relationship and we want to discuss what we're gonna do and
To
all of
your
that.
point,
But
to your point, it's already played out in the Conscioustv situation, which she apologized for overreacting because she was trying to micromanage that shit.
yeah,
And
but
she
see, and a lot of people feel like they don't. A lot of people take this stance, and I've been paying attention to the comments on all platforms that I've been on. A lot of people really do feel like because she's the mom, it is okay for her to pop up. They feel like because she's the mom, she get to call and dictate and want to know every step and every move and all of that. And I'm like, so the same. I feel like the same could be said for him.
I be saying that. I said, look, I don't mind that conversation, long as it works both ways. He's equally a new dad. This is equally his son. She could not have had Halo without his input. It literally took them both to create this child. She did not immaculately conceive. So, if we're going to argue, well, her behavior is normal. If she's obsessive and want to be with her child all the time, okay, fine. Realize that's equally the case for DDG, who's a new dad, in love with his son, eager to be in his son's life, and of course wants just as much time and experience with him as she has with him. Like, let that go both ways. It ain't gonna just work to justify Haley. That argument will have to justify DDG too, but to your point, they don't. The woman has the privilege in that case. All her behavior is justifiable, and he's expected to just kind of like play the background until further notice.
Yeah, I don't think that's cool whatsoever. I would myself, like, it's a lot of things that I know where it comes from, but doesn't mean that doesn't need to be corrected. It's a lot of things us as single moms that we perpetuate when it comes to our children's fathers. That ain't necessarily the correct thing. It ain't right. I know why we do it. I mean, because I had to check myself a while ago, and I didn't realize that I had a slight mentality like that. And I had to really check to correct myself. Like, first and foremost, be thankful when with all that you do struggle with as a single mom. Be thankful if you have man in your life, your kid's father, whether y'all together or not, but being a part and active in your children's lives, if that's the case or whatever. You don't not gonna always agree. You know what I'm saying? Like, I compartmentalize everything, and I really, really like want people to learn to do that. I don't have all the answers, but I do think that it's not a lot of times, too often we don't know how to separate our romantic relationships versus our parental relationships. We don't know how to, like, I don't know what I guess it's the family dynamic, like, way of thinking.
I think it's a lack of education. I think that this should actually be a part of the like parenting guide curriculum when people are like kind of studying about becoming like new parents, even though a lot of that focuses on like how to care for the child, how to care for the baby and all that. I think a part of that needs to also talk about and emphasize the emotional intelligence and maturity in terms of also being able to work well together, even if the personal relationship has collapsed, because that can complicate the co-parenting experience if either parent doesn't know how to compartmentalize, doesn't know how to keep their feelings personally to the side and be a united front in terms of the care for the kid. Like, that needs to be a part of the curriculum. It needs to be a part of the way that we're raising, young people and talking to young adults who plan on being parents, about preparing for that part. We kind of have only mastered in romanticizing childcare, romanticizing marriage. We only kind of talk about the positive. We don't really prepare people for the aftermath. Like, okay, girl, if your marriage dissolves, if this man fucks you over relationally, he cheats on you, give you STIs, puts you through the ringer, and then y'all fuck around and have had a kid, and now this toxic ass nigga or this toxic ass woman that you now hate the guts of because of what they put you through in their relationship, you still got to be stuck with as a co-parent. That's going to raise the stakes here. And so when you're considering laying down and having unprotected sex, or you plan on bringing a child into the world via someone else, you can't just think in the moment about the ramifications of that type of decision making or desire to have a kid. You have to think for the worst too. Like, am I prepared to deal with somebody who may traumatize me relationally and still then have to co-parent with that same individual, because that could be my reality. And because people don't consider this, and nobody talks about this, and nobody focuses on like the negative side and the aftermath of a relationship that initially may have been all love, all good, all great. We had a kid out of our love, out of the positive part of our relationship, and then shit went all the way to the left, or somebody accidentally got pregnant. Somebody who was only a sneaky link now became baby daddy or became baby mama, like, because we don't focus on that, because we're like shortchanging the potential of things. It leaves everybody completely unprepared to navigate something that is very difficult, because even outside of a child, it's very hard to get over a heartbreak. Even outside of a kid, it's very hard to just move past those feelings. It's very hard to still have to go to school with somebody, have to live in a neighborhood with, have to see that person in your family. Your friends still got relationships to the motherfucker you can't stand now. Like, that's hard just independently, even if you ain't got a child in between you and that person. And people act a goddamn fool even trying to navigate that without a child. So I can only imagine, like, my heart goes out to fucking parents, goes out to men and women who get stuck in a co-parenting situation with somebody they no longer respect, somebody they no longer like, somebody they no longer love because of whatever, and y'all are stuck dealing with each other because of a fucking kid. Like, that does take and require a level of willpower, of selflessness, of a lot of things that are hard. It's hard to get there if that's not your starting place, but can get there as long as you're willing to work toward that. But we don't prepare people for this. People don't prepare themselves for the ugly side of shit.
I'm going to say something. Having 2 children by 2 separate individuals, I can honestly say that it is not hard. It's only hard when people are selfish. I think any single parent that's in the chat or even in the bushes, I know there's some that will tell you when it's about your child and you make it about your child 100%, you're not, even if this he could have been the worst, she could have been the worst, but when it's about your child and it's solely about your child, you don't even,
It
you
can be
know how
hard.
to just
It can be.
suppress
It can
that.
be. It
You
can be
just
hard.
suppress it, you know?
I'm not saying it's
But,
impossible. I agree. Like all things can be done, obviously. Like all things can be done. But
yeah, but
I'm
I'm
just
saying
arguing.
why people
I'm just
don't do it.
arguing that it's not easy, and we don't prepare people for that. Because if you have to share pants with somebody that gave you AIDS, if you trusted that person and that person gave you AIDS or gave you herpes, and now that's still the mother or the father, of your child that you got to still deal with, getting past something like that to be mature even for the sake of the child, it can require it. It's going to require a level of evolution, of consciousness. I'm not saying it's not possible. It is possible, and to your point, yes, when you really just try to zone in and focus on the child and not yourself,
That's
it
the
can be
only way.
easy.
That is the only way to do it.
But even getting there is what I'm saying can be very hard, because a lot of times people are not even trained. They're not prepared for that.
I agree with you.
We don't talk to people about that part of life. The same way that we go into the idea of marriage, we focus on the for better part, and then we minimize the for worse part. Because really everybody is signing up for better. Nobody is truly signing up for the for worse. Everybody is going in, with very high expectations around money, around faithfulness, around being able to, just really care for each other. Nobody is truly internalizing the for worse part of those vows. And then when the for worse comes, and now it's time to deal with that front and center, people losing their life, people going to jail, all this interpersonal violence taking place, and kids all over the place, and mental health all over the place. But to your point, yes, it is very possible. And because of situations like this need to be like a cautionary tale to parents who have kids that aren't parents yet, and to just overall society, that we need to be having this part of the conversation. We got to stop overly romanticizing life and have the full conversation with people about the full reality of life, and prepare them for both the worst and for the best. And I feel like a lot of families, a lot of parents, a lot of elders have failed people in having a real context and preparation for the potential of things going really awry when it comes to co-parenting.
And I agree with you. I have often said that these are the things that are missing. That's why I'm always bringing up the elders, and not just the elders. Like, it's just, it needs to be more talked about. I know I experienced it in my childhood, my teenage years, and my young adult years, seeing, just having that balance, but unfortunately we don't. Elders ain't elders anymore. And people are going to do what they want to do, even with wisdom being provided. People still are going to do what they want to do ultimately, or whatever. But it is possible. And my prayer for not just DDG and Halle, but for all people that are going through this at all ages and different points in their life, that there is light at the end of the tunnel. You just really have to do the work. But I really just came up here, Conscious, just because you can get her on here and have her talking right now in real time, and people still not going to believe it. I know that a lot of it is because people are trauma bonding, but I'm getting less frustrated.
And they in these parasocial ass of relationships, and they don't
I was just about to say that.
power, and they have brought into the power of her marketing.
And not even just her marketing. There are people that honestly know because they've done it themselves. I like even listening to I love me some Tia Kemp. Yeah, I don't always agree with her, but she's funny and goofy as hell to me. But I promise you, even her truth, it may have came out I don't agree with the whole don't call the police part or whatever, but her whole talking point overall and what she's saying, I'm like, yeah, I see it. I agree with it. I'm glad she spoke on the flip side. Yeah, it's when I was one of those women too. I was on both sides of the coin. I don't been abused and turned around and gave some out myself. It's the truth. And I just feel like people just aren't being honest. And I understand it takes strength to honest in situations like this. It really does take a lot of strength to tell your truth, knowing that your truth is not going to be on the popular side of talking points. And that's okay to be honest. Being honest it just frees you. You know what I mean? I don't feel like a victim. I don't feel like a predator, or an abuser or anything like that. This is my reality of what was. And people do it every day. So even the brothers talking point, they're in a different tax bracket basically and all of that. It doesn't matter. They're still human beings. I know we tend to feel like just because a person is in a higher tax bracket
No,
or there's
he
celebrities,
was
all
only
of that.
saying that. He was only saying that
No,
in the context of how she was able to supersede some protocol as it relates to
no.
getting.
I understood what he was saying, and I had spoke to that the last slide we talked about though. I said she had to get her attorney's advice to do this and how to do it in a certain way in order to get it done as fast as she did. But I'm saying people in general, this happens every day, and believe it or not, conscious. You can get a emergency PO or even restraining order, whichever one you want to call it. You can get that the same day.
You can. I've seen
Literally
it.
the same day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it wasn't so much as far as her having an attorney, maybe she wasn't aware of what she can do legally and how to get things done in a legal way so she can, have a baby and going on over cross seas. But it happens every day with people that don't have money. I've seen it myself. So I just send prayers out to them and to the people that feel like he's guilty or feels like, she's innocent, whatever your stance is or whatever. Just be mindful that regardless of anything, this young lady has a problem. He has a problem too, but I'm just fearful for her more than anything because I just don't want her. She's so young and to spend the next 10 years, possibly 5, even 2 years engage in a way that she's engaging, want to be problematic, want the drama, all of that, being insecure, all of that's too much. It ain't gonna do nothing but just cause chaos in her life. Now, unless she sounds like she loves it, you know what I mean? Because I was even saying while you was playing it over and over again, I was saying, I wonder, was she thinking this was going to make her seem cool because of the cookie cutter image? Sometimes people want to break free from that. Her sister, everybody swore, I don't know if it's true, but they swear she used her sexuality, to break free from the, Disney girl, cookie cutter girl next door image. And maybe this was Haley's way of trying to break free from that as well.
I think
And
this
if this
happens
is
with a lot of women due to patriarchy. I think a lot of women get socialized into being more conservative than what they really are and get socialized into just being more conservative by virtue of being a woman. And then as they become young women who, get more access to the world, that natural attraction to kind of the rebel or to rebellion as a concept becomes something that becomes an attractive point of attraction because their lives weren't ever balanced out, they were too socialized all the way to the left, too socialized to be a square, having to be super policed in your body, having to be well mannered, having, to succumb to all of these double standards, and just kind of be tight wound as a woman and not really being able to really express yourself or advocate for yourself or have choice available as fluidly to you as it is to males in a patriarchy. I think that this contributes to the alter ego. I think this contributes to women sometimes unconsciously developing a attraction to the so-called bad boy who they are living vicariously through. Yeah, for sure.
And I'm saying even in her behavior, her own talking points of her own behavior, like, is this really truly who you are? Because I don't believe, like, as we all evolve daily, like, I'm pretty sure there's a strong possibility she's going to grow out of this. But even just to her talking points, like I feel like there's a strong possibility that she's putting on, and she may be doing it in like she says she's doing it, so I'm trusting it that she's doing what she's saying she's doing. But maybe that's not really who she is, but she's trying to be somebody that she's not, and things of that nature, like still trying to find herself. And it's just my fear for her. Like, to me, she's going about things the wrong way. But
she's definitely
letting the pendulum swing both ways. Letting the pendulum swing both ways. She's entitled to. I just feel like when there are other people involved, like if you want to find yourself and you want to go through your rebellious stage and the phases and all of that, that's fine and dandy. You are entitled to live your life and have the life experiences that you want to have. But when other people are involved and it comes to situations like this, that's when it's kind of like problematic for me. I think she definitely needs to get a life coach and seek a therapist, somebody to talk to help her find who it is that she's trying to be. Yeah, I really do.
Both of them are young. She's 25, he's 27. They both have come into an extraordinary amount of privilege and wealth at a very young age. They're both minority folks, so that they also are coming from a certain type of culture and socialization. And they both are going to make their fair share of fucking mistakes. That's for sure. They both need guidance, and they both, are young. So, we ain't going to condemn them, but, they both should have at least been mature enough to not have had a kid until they had grown up a lot more. I just find it so irresponsible when people, and it's really not for me an age thing. The age thing comes into play as like age of consciousness. So I don't even think a 40-year-old unconscious motherfucker should be having a kid any more than a 25-year-old unconscious motherfucker should be having a kid. I feel like when it comes to that kid thing and being responsible for somebody else, like, grow the fuck up first. Grow the fuck up. It's not a game to bring in other souls and to not be together mentally and emotionally, etc. And if anybody has toxic traits, that's what your child is inheriting. They're going to bear witness to whatever your condition is. And if that shows up in your relationship to women, relationship to men, whatever that looks like, that's their demonstration. If you're having a kid for all the wrong reasons, you have enmeshments and shit, you're going to be raising a daddy's girl and or a mama's boy. And both of those people are very problematic in terms of romance. Whether you got a mama's boy on your hand or you got a daddy's girl on your hand, all this shit shapes innocent souls that become problematic people by accident due to improper parenting. So
I was a daddy's girl. I don't think my daddy's good. Or was it that? No. But mine really wasn't. Honestly, mine wasn't.
So what I mean by daddy's girl, when I say daddy's girl, I'm not talking about a girl who's close to her father. I'm talking about just like
you're talking about like the investment type shit.
Like in the case of a mama's boy, a girl who had a cuddling, overcompensating, insecure, no foot principle standing ass father, and then that becomes her demonstration for what men who are going to love her, not like her father loves her, but are going to love her romantically, which is a different type of love than the love even from your parents. So parents also have to just be careful in their own love style and trying to shape their children to look for that in their partners, because unlike your parents, your partner is going to absolutely hold you to fucking task. They're going to hold you too responsible. And a part of romantic relationships is very transactional, which doesn't really show up in the parenting thing, because your parents gonna love you unconditionally. Everybody else is gonna put up with your ass based upon what you bring to the table, based upon your ability to sustain and to bring something of value to the fucking table. Your mama and your daddy, for better or for worse, baby, they're gonna let you live with them. For better or for worse, baby, they gonna, you know, make space for you. Don't expect that from your spouse. Your spouse is expecting this, and this. And if you fail at this, and this, you out on your ass. That's a different type of love than the love of your mama and the love of your father. And a lot of people are expected to look for their fathers and their mamas in their niggas and in their bitches. So I'm talking about
so weird.
Daddies, girls, and mamas, boys. I'm talking about like in the context of that. I'm not talking about in the context of like people who just had healthy parents that loved them and were good to them and were demonstrations of good folk and all of that. But I'm more so talking about like the unconscious problematic ass shit that parents be demonstrating that then becomes a part of their children's expectations and other people that can sideline relationships. And we had did a deep dive a while ago on this whole shit, and we was studying enmeshment and how that shows up in the kids who have enmeshed parents. It turns into their inability, like it cripples their autonomy, it cripples their independency when they have an over-involved parent, a micromanaging ass parent, a parent that pretty much is using the child to fulfill their own needs, but in return the child can't stand as an adult. So then they end up having unhealthy dependencies on their parent. Matter of fact, interestingly enough, I got a good friend right now who was considering dating this person, but this person seems to be a mama's boy. And that scares my friend, because my friend can see that, like, you know, that person is handicapped in that way. And they don't know, like, this person hasn't even given themselves the opportunity to really exist outside of the coddling and the overly support of their parent. So my friend is concerned, like, what does this look like if something happened to your motherfucking mama? Like, you know, I like, what does your full capacity for independency look like? What the fuck does your full capacity to, like, stand on your own, fend for yourself look like? You've never even given yourself that opportunity, and your mammy ain't giving you that opportunity either, because, you know, she using you as a surrogate fucking husband. So she hardly don't give a fuck about your survival outside of her, because as long as she's alive, baby, you know, she gonna have you being her supplemental ass husband. And that throws caution to the wind for me, because, you know, we all over 30, and, you know, I need to know that whomever the fuck I'm gonna lay down with can really stand in the motherfucking paint and won't fucking fall apart when shit gets rough, because you used to having a goddamn cushion underneath your ass. So, you know, it's interesting.
Let me share this real quick with you, because I'm sitting here trying not to laugh while you're talking. But quick little short story time. I was dating this guy. Well, we exchanged numbers. We talked for about 2 weeks. Every day we talked on the phone. Every conversation he would bring up his mom, right? And I thought it was just so cute. How he just doted on his mom. Just, oh, so cute. And our first date, he had cash, right? He kept saying, you know, I don't have a lot of cash on me. I only got about 400, 500 on me or whatever. So, you know what I mean? We're going to keep it light, whatever. I'm like, okay, cool. The second date, he was like, I got to stop by my mom's house. I got to go get my mail. So I'm like, why you got mail going to your mother's house? Whatever. Long story short, we get to the movies and we're sitting in the parking lot. He calls his mother. He opens up the mail, takes out a debit card, calls his mother. Now, you know, when debit cards come in the mail, they're like attached to like the a letter, and it tells you step by step what to do. He literally called his mother and had his mother do a 3-way and help him activate his card.
And did.
And guess what? I never went out with him again after that. That's my only experience. I knew immediately I said I don't know if he couldn't read or write. Okay,
Another
because
problem.
I'm sitting right here next to him. I mean, like, okay, we don't know each other that well for me to have your bank information and all of that. But I mean, like, everything, the instructions are right here. Why are you calling your mother?
Yeah,
I
and
said,
those be the same, and those be the same men that had an enmeshed mother who chooses their mother even over their wife. They have
that's how old
no
he was.
ability to establish a boundary. They allow their mother, or the women in this case who have an enmeshment with their fathers, don't understand boundary. They allow their parents to have inappropriate influence in the marriage, in the relationship. They prioritize their parents even over their spouses unnecessarily, and it just results in unhappiness ultimately. And this is why a lot of women would tell a mama's boy, like, girl, if your mama mean that much to you, go marry her. Go fuck her. Go fuck your mama. You don't need me, baby. Like, I'm not about to play second best to your mother. Or in the man's case, I ain't playing second best to your father. Go marry them. Go fuck them. And I agree. Go fuck your mother. You don't need a wife. You already got one. You don't need a husband. You got one. You got one. You got one, baby. You don't need me. They got it.
Yeah. So people, you know, for anyone that's struggling with enmeshment, you know, when you know, overdoing it with your children because you have obsession,
And
like
emptiness and intimate issues.
attachment. Yeah, like all of those. Just Google it.
Right.
Google it, enmeshment, and work on that, because ultimately what you're doing is sending your children out into the world, and it's going to really be hard for them to find true happiness, a real partner that's, even for a person, because think about this, even for someone that falls in love with a mama's boy or a daddy's girl, can you imagine what that relationship is going to be like?
No.
Like, why would you want your children to be a partner to someone and not make them happy, make them feel less than? Because for all the people that I know that actually really, really dated and were in relationships and married to mama's boys and daddy's girls, it did not end well. And for those that did, you know, still are in existence or went, you know, the long call, it was just always chaos and drama. Always chaos and drama.
You
The
don't
man
get a
never stood
complete.
up for his wife. The wife never stand up for her husband.
You
Like,
can never get a complete partner. Like, you won't get a complete partner if the relationship has been inappropriate emotionally, mentally, and physically with the partner who had the enmeshment with the parent. You are getting half of a partner. You need full
it's not.
partnership.
So yeah, just don't do that to your children. You know, I get it, love on them and all of that or whatever, but that time and energy can be put into somebody else, and
And
maybe
teach them
that's why.
accordingly.
Yeah,
Teach them
and maybe that's
accordingly.
why. Maybe the reason for
Teach them the nuance between my love for you as your mother and what your wife going to expect from you. My love for you as your dad and what your husband. Them two different expectations, baby. Them two different type of relationships, honey. You can expect the love that I've demonstrated and I've offered, but it is a different relationship too. It's a different set of stipulations. It's a different set of expectations. If parents teach that alongside just being a loving demonstration, they'll be all right. But what we got a problem with in this country is we teach motherfuckers to look for their mama and look for their daddy. And then both end up being the mama boy and the daddy girls of yesteryear. So yes, the love is the proper part. It's not teaching the difference in relationship that ends up being an issue.
I just think it's weird to look for your parental, like look for
And people
any
do it.
comparison.
Men say it all the time. I'm looking for my mama.
Uh-huh.
My mama.
It's so
I want to marry my mama. Yikes. That's a
that's
problem.
so weird to me. Like I don't, and I'm not even trying to sexualize it. It's just weird to
No,
me
yeah, even on
in
an emotional and
general.
intellectual level.
Yeah, because there are certain things like even having the closest bond, you and your parents could feel like best friends. There's just certain things that I could not discuss. And I'm an open book. I ain't never had no boundaries is in regards to conversation. But there's just some things that I just don't want to have a conversation with. Like I would never want to share with my parents. There are just certain intimate things I just would never want to share with my parents. You understand? Like boundaries for a reason, even though we are all beings, and human, like just boundaries for reasons. Like my partner is meant to get the depths of my soul if I want to give them the depths of my soul. I'm not trying to give my parents the depths of my soul. They have my heart, they have my loyalty, they have my love, but they don't get the depths of my soul. That's for my mate, but to each his own. People do shit and operate in mannerisms, and not mannerisms, but in ways that they're not even conscious of it. It's really sad to know how many people are walking around just existing and not truly living. My pledge to myself was to want to be happy. Like I don't understand no one that does not want to be happy all day, every day. I know it's not a realistic thing, but I strive for it. So anything that's not going to bring me happiness, I don't even really want to engage in it. Like I just don't. It serves no purpose when we already living in times that's just so much fuck shit going on. You know what I'm saying? To keep you unhappy. Nah, I'm going to take every opportunity and chance I can get to just ultimately be happy. So when it's all said and done, to the Halleys and to the DGs out there, DDGs, what you call them, DVD player,
DVD, aka the
CD
VCR.
player, yeah, him,
And DVD.
to y'all people and people alike, we all can stand for some more improvement in our life. The things we can change, please put the work in and the effort. Like that's something that we just should just work at every day. It takes no effort to just do the right thing. It really doesn't. Like it's easier to do the right thing just as well as it's easy to do the wrong thing. It's just up to you. And I just send love and light out to them people. And more than anything, I send it out to baby Halo. I pray that the generation curses are broken from him and that he does not inherit the toxic traits and perpetuate it in his lifetime. I just pray that off of his life. Yeah.
Well, in the name of Jesus, we pray.
Amen. The Father, Son, and the Holy Daughter.
That part. Well, thank you for being up here.
All right. Love y'all. Good night.
Love you too, boo. That's our Women's NT, y'all. That complete. Perfectly stated, child. Pray for this family. Pray for Halo, girl. He's stuck in between. He's in the eye of the storm right now. It's kind of on one end, it's a good thing he's young as all this is playing out. But my God, it's still sad because someday he's going to see everything, and what the truth is and isn't, I don't know, baby. But it's already going to definitely be complicating his experience. So I really hope that Halle and DVD can turn this thing around. So I'll be keeping you guys updated. I'll let you guys know what happens in the June hearing, girl, how all that plays out. All tea, send it to me, girl. If y'all hear anything out of the family, etc., don't be afraid to email me. I don't give a fuck how many emails you got to send. Send me all the emails. Send me all the DMs. Follow me on Instagram at ConsciousTV at gmail. On Instagram at ConsciousTV. Email me at ConsciousTV at gmail.com. Sign up to the Patreon, $5 once a month, etc. Subscribe to the platform, thumbs up, all that good jazz. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. We need all of that. Check out all the earlier live streams. We'll be back tomorrow and Sunday to catch up on all things going on with Diddy's trial, as well as to read transcripts. Sign up to Uda on Go, who been reporting boots to the ground. Everything going on at the courthouse, girl, get into it. And if you enjoyed yourself, you can always show some love to the Cash App, $ConsciousTV, and or paypal.me/ConsciousTV just how you see here on the screen. I love you all and have a wonderful, fabulous Friday, and I will see you all later. Peace.